red beam. Oh, you gotta, so you wanna pop back? Now stop that. Cement shoes, now I'm on the move. Your family's crying, now you on the news. They can't find you, and now they miss you. Must I remind you, I'm only here to twist you. Whip you, dip you, then flip you, then dance to this music we crip to. Subscribe, get your issue. Baby, come close, let me see how you get low. When the pimp's in the crib, ma, drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot. When the pigs try to get at you, park it like it's hot. Park it like it's hot. Park it like it's hot. And if a get an attitude, pop it like it's hot. Pop it like it's hot. Pop it like it's hot. I got the rollie on my arm and I'm pouring Sean down and I'm over best cause I got it going on.
Who not? Tell me who rock, who sell out in the stores. You tell me who flop, who cop the blue drop, who Jews got blocks, who mostly Gucci down to the Jews stop. The same old pimp, mace, you know ain't nothing changed but my limp. Can't stop till I see my name on the blimp. Guarantee a million sales full of love. You don't believe I'm all the world, double up. We don't play around, it's a bet, lay it down. Niggas didn't know me 91, bet they know me now. I'm the young Harlem with the Goldie sound. Can't no TNG, hold me down, cooler. School me to the game, now I know my duty. Stay humble, stay low, blow like Hootie. True pimp, spin no dough on the booty. And when you yell, there go Mace, there go your cutie.
They want from me, it's like the more money we come across, the more problems we see. I don't know what they want from me, it's like the more money we come across, the more problems we see.
I'm the D to the A to the DDY. I know you'd rather see me die than see me fly. I call all the shots, rip all the spots, rock all the rocks, cop all the drops. I know you're thinking now when all the ball is stopped. You never home, gotta call me on the yacht. 10 years from now, we'll still be on top. Yo, I thought I told you that we won't stop. Now what you gonna do with it?
For Stones Baseball, Sportsvisions 92.1. You're listening to the Sportsvisions Morning Show, brought to you by Global Diagnostic Services and the Finley Firm. Here's DJ Jones and Thrift Barringer.
Good Tuesday morning and welcome everybody to another edition of the Sportsvisions Morning Show. I am Walter and Betty Jones's baby boy, Daryl DJ Jones. We call this guy the Swiss Army knife, but however, his government name is Richard Holdridge. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, DJ. Glad to be here on this Tuesday, ready to talk sports with you.
It's a Take Me Back Tuesday, man. And I'll tell you what, day 2 is almost in the books, Richard. We are here. We're headed into the middle of the week. And I tell you, man, we have gotten off to a tremendous start. Hey, big ups last night to Wemby. Boy, I tell you, man, how Wemby hung 41 and 24 rebounds, 41 points on OKC last night to, again, knock off the reigning world champion. And I know that all eyes were on that particular game because, again, coming out of the West, the two best basketball players in the NBA, according to a lot of people, between Wembanyama and, of course, again, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, a lot of eyeballs was on that game. But again, tonight, the big game will get underway in, of course, Madison Square Gardens, the Cleveland Cavaliers and the New York Knickerbockers.
Yeah, that series between the Spurs and the Thunder, it's still going to go 7 games. I was very impressed, and it was an exciting game. I did not stay up to watch the whole game, but I think that Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is going to definitely shoot better than 7 for 23. He just did not have a good night. I'm looking forward to tonight, though. We've got the team that's been well rested in the Knicks, and then the Cavaliers that just got through a gruesome 7-game series. I could see where the Cavaliers could steal game 1. I still think the Knicks are the favorites, but it'd be a great story if the Cavaliers are able to get the upset against the New York Knicks to try to reach the NBA Finals.
If you had your rathers, and again, just off the dome, what's your like a consistent schedule, or would you like to have a big week off at the end of the year like this? I mean, to me, it just seems like it's going to take, I know, unless you have some veteran players that, just know how to get it done, have been there, done that, got the T-shirt. But that's not the fact with New York. So I'm a little bothered that they have this time off, which kind of would have maybe throw a little sand in against the momentum.
Yeah, I got to see the history on how teams fare when they're facing a team that goes through a 7-game series and they swept their previous series, because the Knicks have not played since May the 10th. That's a long time.
It is a long time, but like
That's
I was saying,
9 days.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But if you've got veterans who have been, have been through that,
True.
again, then they know how to, how to trust their bodies and the rest, and again, how to turn it up, tune it up. But we'll find out tonight. We'll definitely find out tonight.
And we will. And home court advantage is going to be at New York. So it's going to be at Madison Square Garden. And the Cavaliers, they've got something to try to prove. But their fan base going up against the Knicks fan base, it's going to be a great series.
Good morning to Ricky Rogers and Rodney Lawrence. We appreciate the fact that you allow us to help you get your day started, but we allow you to help us get our day started. And while we're at it, let's just do this. Let's just go ahead and say good morning to everybody out there in Facebook land. If you're watching, of course, as well as YouTube, we appreciate the fact that you allow us to help you get your day started. We don't take you for granted, because we know that we are here to, of course, inform, educate, and again, entertain you on the goings on in the world of sports. And we wouldn't have any other way like it, Richard.
Yeah. Where else are you going to get local sports talk radio 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, from 6 to 9, right here on the Sportsvisions Morning Show.
You will hear about your kids. You will hear about your teams in your community. And again, nobody else can do that, and especially not at this time of morning live. But also for all of our friends that are listening on WLTC HD2 Sportsvisions 92.1, we love you. But it ain't a damn thing you can do about it. Hello, somebody. Richard, let's get this party started. Hey, we're broadcasting from the PMB studios in beautiful Midtown Columbus. It's a great day for a great day. We're just a rock stroll over from the Aflac Tower. And again, obviously it's a great day, and we're glad to be here.
Yeah, and what a really cool sight. Yesterday when we were at Slim Chickens over in Phoenix City off Highway 280, you could see the Aflac Tower, because Phoenix City is a little hilly. You could see a lot of and you could go in and look and see the skyline over there across the river. And just a comment, the Aflac Tower is just a staple in Columbus. People recognize the Aflac Tower. They think of Columbus. It's like, any city you go, there's always that landmark that identifies that landmark with that city, and that's what we have in the Aflac Tower here in Columbus.
Yes, indeed. Congratulations to the Pacelli ladies soccer team. I tell you, man, Richard, they're keeping the clock rolling, brother.
How are they a 4 seed? I don't know. They were taking on George Walton, the 5 seed, and they blanked them 10-0. Because they do have a mercy rule in soccer, and so I don't know when that game ended, but the defending GIAA champions are going on to face Stratford, the number 1 overall seed. But I think they are underseeded. I think that Coach Cochran's got a fantastic bunch. I think the GIAA rankings just saw their record, didn't see who they played, and decided, we're just going to make them the 4 seed. When they played a tough schedule, they played GHSA teams, AHSAA teams that have championship caliber teams, and yet they were still able to get the win. And I could see them getting the upset next week against Stratford Academy and making their way back to Stratford for the state championship in 2 weeks.
A little closer to home, congratulations to Brandon Jenkins. He was officially named the Harris County baseball coach. There was no doubt about that, obviously, after losing the tragic loss that they had. And again, to rise up, and those players and that staff deserves a great deal of credit, but congratulations to Brandon Jenkins.
Yeah, well-deserved. Love Coach Jenkins. He was the full-time softball coach. He stepped in and wanted to coach this team for his friend, because the whole community was hurting, and they had such an incredible season. Think about this. They lost to Kell in a 3-game series. It could have gone either way. These were evenly matched teams. Kell's in the state championship.
Yes.
I mean, that's how good this team was. And Coach Jenkins did a phenomenal job just getting this team prepared every day to go and play baseball.
Well, with 32 games under the belt and one of the best teams, if not the best team in Major League Baseball, you know what? They finally hit the wall. The Atlanta Braves went down and got shut out. Not only got shut out, but got boat raced 12-0 to the Marlins last night. That happens. And, of course, the Marlins are the fourth best team in the National League East. They've won 22 games, and, of course, they're 10 games back on the Braves. But that goes to show you how competitive it is. And, of course, when you are the Braves, especially with this particular record and this standing in Major League Baseball, you got the bullseye on your back, brother.
Yeah, sports is a mystery. You look at the box score and you're like, what?
Yeah.
Is that a misprint? No, it wasn't their night. It's one of those just toss out the tape. Hey, let's get ready for the second game. The bats just weren't coming alive, and they did not have a day off like they typically do on a Monday. And they had that home stretch. They went down to Miami. I don't know if it was just fatigue or travel or that's just baseball.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have games like this. It's like 12-0, but it's just one game.
Yeah.
So the Braves will be fine. Just continue their winning ways, but just keep an eye on the Phillies. The Phillies are in the rear view mirror, and they are creeping up. They are continuing to win, and it's getting me a little nervous because the Braves got to continue to win as well because I think the Phillies are coming. They're right behind the Braves in that division.
You got to give a shout out to the Braves organization. I know J.R. Ritchie is a young kid, and he actually, got beat up pretty good yesterday in the early goings. However, the Braves are making it, a fact that they're not afraid to put him out there. And again, they're looking for that next best young starter. And again, hey, look, you got to take the lumps with the bumps. It's going to take these kinds of games in order for J.R. Ritchie to be the pitcher that they want him to be long term.
Yeah, it happens for a rookie, but we love J.R. Ritchie, former Columbus Cleanstone. We're going to be rooting for him every time. I think that the Atlanta Braves are going to be fine. And J.R. Ritchie, right now, because of some of the injuries like to Spencer Schwallenbach and A.J. Smith-Shawver, he's going to get an opportunity to be in that rotation. And he's pitched good up to this point, so hopefully he could bounce back in his next start.
Shout out to the Marlins, Max Meyer. He pitched 6 innings, struck out 6, didn't give up a run. So again, hey, look, man, he's a Major League Baseball pitcher as well. And you know what? On any given day, any given time, if you're on that roster, you're expected to answer the bell, and that's exactly what Meyer was able to do.
Yeah, you got to just tip your cap to Meyer. And the Miami Marlins, they've been a mystery. I think that their ballpark is awesome. I know that before they used to play where the Dolphins played football.
Yeah.
And I think that it's great that it's right there in that area where the Orange Bowl used to be. They tore down that Orange Bowl in 2008. I just want to see more fans. It seems like that there's so many distractions down in Miami, and they have other great sports teams. But you're talking about a franchise that's won 2 World Series titles in 97 and 2003, and they were the underdogs in both of those series. But the Braves and Marlins, this is a special rivalry that I'm going to continue just keeping an eye on this series. And the Braves got 3 more cracks at it here in this series against the Marlins. So hopefully they could pull out these victories as this series comes to a close.
Absolutely. And I know that everybody's excited about the weekend because they'll be headed back home, have the Washington Nationals here, of course, starting on Friday, and they'll have a weekend series with them after they get done on Thursday down in Miami. Richard, as far as you're concerned and all of your dealings and all of your calls, anything of note?
Yes, I'm going to be taking my talents to Oxford along with Thrift Barringer.
Okay.
We are going to be traveling up to Oxford to Chakalaka Park for Game 1 of Glenwood Gordo in the AHSAA State Championship. I was there last year, and we had an audio-only broadcast on Georgia Alabama Sports Live because FNN actually have the rights to the game. They're going to be live streaming this game on the NFHS network.
Mm-hmm.
So, but AHSAA rules state if we pay a fee, we'll be able to have an audio version because, Gordo had a radio station that was there. And obviously Glenwood doesn't have a terrestrial radio station. So it's going to be like a radio call where you're just going to get the audio only of Thrift and myself. And then tomorrow they will turn around and go up to Jacksonville State for games 2 and 3 for an audio only version on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. So that's the only way you're going to be able to listen. You're not going to be able to watch it on Georgia Alabama Sports Live, but you can listen to it. We're going to put up a graphic. We won't have a camera, we'll just have the audio version, and we'll have that updating that scoreboard while we're playing the audio version of the broadcast.
And of course, that first pitch is 2 p.m. Central and 3 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah, not to be confused. I always get Central and Eastern confused. I'm like, man, 2 o'clock, that's such an early. Oh, no, that's Central time.
Yeah.
It's going to be 3. And by the way, if you're a Glenwood student, you'll be able to they don't have school today.
Wonderful.
Because they have election day.
Uh-huh.
They are using Glenwood as a polling site. And so the students can try to make their way up to Oxford and try to pack that place out, because we need it. Because, Gordo is going to be sending their fans too. And it's a rematch of the state championship from last year. So that's pretty fitting. And as Glenwood tries to win championship number 26.
How far a drive is Oxford from here?
It's about 2 hours.
2 hours? That's not bad.
It's about it. Chocolate Park is where the Chocolate Monsters play. They're in the SBL.
Right.
It used to be the Chattahoochee Monsters, and they moved back up to Chocolate. It's an absolute gorgeous park. And this is also the site of the first games of the AHSAA 7A state playoffs. They already had the 2A in game 1 yesterday, and then that park is absolutely gorgeous. They have softball fields, and so they have the state tournament for the AHSAA softball. And so I was there last year, an absolute gorgeous park, not that far away, and plus, it's just an easy access to get there, and they really do it big. And I'm looking forward to being up there in Oxford.
Is it north, south, east, west?
It's north.
It is north.
Yeah,
northwest part of the state.
Yeah, you go up 431, going through Wadowee, cutting on Interstate 20, and then cutting across. And it's right there in Oxford, Anniston, that area. I'm very familiar with that area because I've been to Fort McClellan. And so you also have Jacksonville State up the road. And so, yeah, that area just outside of Birmingham. I wouldn't necessarily call it the Birmingham area, but Talladega's over there. So that, a lot of people are familiar with that area. It is a nice area, and it's actually growing. It's growing outside of the Birmingham area, and it's just a great little spot that has a lot of stuff to do. All
right, let's go ahead and take our first break of the day and let you know that you're listening to WLTC HD2 Sports Visions 921. This is the Sports Visions Morning Show.
This is the Sports Visions Morning Show.
Let's do this.
Sports Visions 92.1.
Good morning and happy Election Day on this Tuesday. I'm Tiffany Maddox with a look at your morning's headlines. For Election Day, the Urban League of the River Valley is providing free rides to the polls from 8 a.m. until 5 p.m. Now, you can reserve a ride by calling 706-322-6840, but you must cast your ballot at your regular voting precinct today. And former Lee County Deputy Cam Hunt is challenging Sheriff Jay Jones in the Lee County Sheriff's race. Jones, who has been in office for nearly 28 years, is working to get votes from the county, while Hunt is trying to play to the angle aimed at long-term politicians. Meanwhile, new forensic findings suggest the victim of the 35-year-old Opelika cold case was likely a teenager, which changes the investigation because detectives believe the victim was a young adult based on the original 1990 autopsy. Crime Stoppers is offering a $5,000 reward for information on the case. For WRBL News 3, I'm Tiffany Maddox. Make it a great day.
Good Tuesday morning. We are off to a mild start with temperatures in the 60s and low 70s with a few clouds. By the afternoon, temperatures have already skyrocketed to the upper 80s and even some low 90s under a mix of sun and clouds. Tonight, mild and mostly clear. Lows drop to the upper 60s. More sun in the forecast for Wednesday, but add an isolated afternoon pop-up thunderstorm to that forecast. The extended outlook keeps the low 90s and a chance of rain through the holiday weekend.
To get the full story, visit sportsvisions921.com and click on the WRBL tab. Sports Visions 92.1.
This hour brought to you in part by Gill's Auto Sales, now celebrating their 40th anniversary.
My dog was telling me the other day, "Hey, thanks for switching to Spruce, that new weed killer." Okay, not in words, but in tail wags and 20 straight minutes of zoomies in the garden. Spruce is tough on weeds and works fast. We're talking dead weeds in just one day. And it's safe to use around pets when used as directed. Quick results and peace of mind for my pup. That's why I made the switch to Spruce Weed Killer. Try Spruce, the new weed killer. Pet friendly, weed deadly.
This message is from the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs. Veterans, do you take medication? At VA, prescriptions have a range of copay levels, from free to $5, $8, or $11 for a 30-day prescription, depending on your eligibility. Refill by mail, in person, or on VA's mobile app. Sign up at va.gov or call 1-800-MyVA-411.
Did you know that generic drugs are just as safe and effective as brand name drugs? Generics might look different, but they work the same way. And they can even save you money. Don't believe me? Ask your doctor or pharmacist. Or visit fda.gov/generic drugs.
I'm Shanola Hampton. Every day, millions of people face hunger. Today, I will share with you some of their experiences. I'm stuck between paying for medications or paying for food. John from Maine. After paying my bills, I can buy groceries. It's sad to say, food comes last. Alice from Oregon. I thought pantries were for less fortunate people, but anybody could be less fortunate in a day or even a second. Claire from Virginia. The Feeding America network of food banks helps provide over 6 billion meals to people in need each year. No one should have to worry where their next meal will come from. Together, we can end hunger. Learn more at feedingamerica.org.
Damaging an underground utility can cause a lot more problems than you think. By causing a potentially avoidable damage to underground utilities, there's many scenarios that do not end well. To keep the gas, power, water, and internet running, using 811 to have your underground utilities marked is a critical piece of the damage prevention process, whether you're a homeowner or an excavator. It's free, it's simple, and it's the law. Visit al811.com for more information.
If it's local, it's on the Sportsvisions Morning Show with former Georgia Bulldog DJ Jones and Thrift Barringer.
Welcome back to the Sportsvisions Morning Show. Richard, play that just a little bit, man. Oh, my God. I love it. I love it.
Hey, this album came out before Thriller, and it was great.
Did I let you know that I saw Michael, the movie, for the third time?
What?
The third time. I had some house guests there. My cousins were in town. And, of course, Glisson and baby sister, as we call them affectionately, Miss Candy and I were able to, of course, go to Lucas Cinemas in Fort Benning. Man, have you been on to the new?
I have. It's really a great theater. I think like cheap popcorn, cheap tickets, and I love it.
And not only that, they have the reclining seats. I mean, the double wide seats. I mean, it was just it's very, very intimate. I mean, it's not like this big, huge theater. It was very intimate, but we had a chance to take them out there.
I want to say something because you're getting into close territory. When I was in high school, girls I went to high school went to see Titanic like 8-9 times at the theater. You're getting close to that territory where you could brag about, I went to go see Michael like 8 times at the theater.
And you know what? The thing about it is that I'm not necessarily a movie guy. I like shows. I like good movies, but it's not like you can't say, DJ, what do you love to do? I love to go to the movies. That's not what, and there are places and times and certain movies that I have enjoyed. And as this one, again, I've seen it for the third time, and I'm not too embarrassed or ashamed to say that if I went a fourth time that I would enjoy as well, because I'm just that much of a Michael Jackson fan. And I love the whole Jackson 5. I love the whole family dynamics. Joe Jackson, and although people think he was an asshole, I think that this hardworking steel mill guy that realized that he didn't want his kids to grow up like he did. He wanted a better life for them. They were talented. They were gifted with talent, God-gifted abilities. And you know what? He just drove them. He drove them like a baseball dad, or basketball dad, or a football. He was a little firm, and sometimes you have to, kick the kids in the butt a little bit and get them straight. But I guarantee you one thing: regardless of whether you like Joe Jackson and his tutelage and his mentorship or not with his kids, he produced one of the greatest artists of all time in Michael.
Yeah, no question about it. And that family, absolute talent. And when you think of Janet Jackson, even Jermaine Jackson had some hits. Why would you do what you do?
Don't do that to me, Richard. Don't do that to me, please. You're feeling a little good about yourself, I see.
But the family was absolutely talented.
Yeah.
Just that Michael was in a different stratosphere.
Right.
This was somebody that I talked about the Off the Wall album, which was a great album. But when Thriller came out, it really transcended Michael Jackson as a complete superstar where everybody on the planet knew exactly what his name was and who he was.
Well, anyway, that's my confession for today. I have seen Michael, the movie, for the third time. But again, I was entertaining. And again, the first time we were in Tampa 3 weeks ago. And of course, 2 weeks ago, we had a house guest, one of Candy's girlfriends came in, and we took, and again, that's you're looking for events, you're looking for things to do. And this week, of course, just the other day, we were able to go with our cousins. Hey, man, listen, again, great show lined up for us today. We're going to have an opportunity to hear from an old chip off the old block. Again, Dana Barker, the Swiss Army knife. Richard, I guess, if we call you a Swiss Army knife, what should we call Dana?
Well, he's the
original. Triple or double or
he's the
double?
Original Swiss Army.
He's the original, I tell you again. But Dana is great spirit, great soul. Love to have him on. Love his energy, but of course you have to have a good spirit to be able, because it would be so easy for him to say, "My God, I mean, I'm tired. I got this go." No, this guy embraces it. He keeps his head down. He works. He's a father. He's a husband, and then all of that other stuff. Meteorologist, IT guy over at Auburn. Referee. Announcer at the hockey team. I mean, it's so easy. And but if you the people, those of us who are in this business, and I'm talking about the sports broadcasting business, if you want to make excuses, hey, just look up this guy and see all the things that he's committed to doing, and of course, just check him out, talk to him, and feel him, check his temperature on a daily basis. No ups and downs, no peaks and valleys. This guy is as smooth as the other side of a pillow.
Oh, I love that terminology. Dana Barker, he is the jack of all trades. And we love it every time he comes on the Sportsvisions morning show. And I'm fascinated by weather as much as he is. And I love just giving him those weather questions because whether you got hurricanes, tornadoes, I mean, he is on top of it. And we just appreciate everything he does and contributing to the Sportsvisions morning show.
Absolutely. But Dana will be here first. And then, of course, Jack Patterson will check in as he always does on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And we'll find out how Jack and, of course, Tyler are going to be navigating the week with all the festivities going on, all the sports games and activities going on this week.
Yeah, I might see him up at Oxford, at Chakalaka Park later today. But hopefully, they get a little bit of breather. I mean, Jack and Tyler is definitely going to be tag teaming this. You're going from like Birmingham to Macon to Montgomery, to LaGrange. I mean, you're going everywhere to try to cover all these events, and that's why they do just a phenomenal job with that.
All right, and I'm excited that we're going to have two of the very best high school baseball coaches in and around. Now, we got a ton of them, but these are two of the very best. Their state championship is on their resumes, and of course, when you talk about Troup County's Tanner Glisson, who has his team set to possibly win another state championship. And, of course, over at Glenwood, Tim Fanning, he'll follow Tanner Glisson this morning on Tanner again. Tim Fanning, actually, he'll be playing today. Is that's the game you guys are going to be calling just up the road in Oxford. So, again, and here's another situation where it's game day, and it's early in the morning. These guys will be playing at 2 o'clock Central, 3 o'clock Eastern. But again, Tim Fanning knows and thinks enough about, this platform to be able to come on and want to inspire his following and to give those folks a good understanding of what we are in store for this afternoon. And he understands it. He gets it, because he could have very easily said, "No, I can't do it. G. It's game day." But no, he's going to get up. He's going to say what he has to say. He's going to not only motivate his team, but he's going to motivate the community to get their butts in their cars and head up to Oxford.
Exactly. Most coaches, I mean, not most coaches, but there are some coaches out there like, well, no, it's game day. I got to prepare. But he sees the big picture. He knows how important this platform is to get the word out. Yeah, you have plenty of time to prepare. They don't play until 3 o'clock Eastern. get the word out, get as many fans to drive up to Oxford to pack Chakalaka Park to come support the Glenwood Gators. That is the message, and we're glad that Coach Fanning was able to take time out of his busy schedule to come on the Sportsvisions Morning Show before he's got to get up there and prepare for this game today.
Good morning to our good friend Gerald Bedgood, who is listening in the middle of Metro Nankipu. You know where Nankipu is?
I think he just made that up.
Also, of course, my good friend Stanley Crowell. Thank you, man, for checking in this morning. As we mentioned before, Rodney Lawrence, Richard. We also have, Ricky Rogers that's out there. Bobby Brown is in Panama City. I think that's where he checked in from yesterday. But, thank you all for listening, and we appreciate it. We don't take you for granted.
Yeah, we understand Bobby Brown's on Central Time, so he'd have to get up at 5 in the morning to listen to us. So that's okay. We're glad that you're able to listen to us whenever you can.
Absolutely. Hey, look, coming up in just a little bit, the next voice you'll hear will be Dana Barker. You're giving it to us straight, no chaser. You're watching Facebook Live as well as YouTube, and you're listening to WLTC HD2 921. We are your hometown sports guys.
You are listening to the Sportsvisions Morning Show. Sportsvisions 92.1.
You know, Bear, everybody talks about price sells cars, and it does. But I tell you what sells cars better than that, and that's customer service. At Bratton Automotive, I'm going to be your personal sales representative. I'm Michael Bratton, and here we are the bank. Come see us today, and remember, everybody's going to leave with a smile.
I have a friend, about 50, had a bad accident and couldn't go back to work. If you're between the ages of 49 and 63 and can't go back to your job because of a physical or mental disability, Social Security could pay you as much as $3,800 a month. If you or a family member is unable to work because of a disability, call the Social Security Disability Helpline. Our team will give you a free case review and explain to you how much money you're entitled to. And you won't pay anything unless we get you benefits. See if you or a family member is entitled to close to $45,000 a year in Social Security disability funds. Remember, this is not something for people over the age of 65. If you're under 65 and can't work, call now.
800-413-7642. 800-413-7642. That's 800-413-7642.
Hey, it's the Hubster, Gills Auto Sales, your #1 pre-owned dealer in Georgia and Alabama. We have over 400 vehicles to choose from, like new ones and hard to find ones. Back that up with a free 30-month, 30,000-mile warranty and great financing in 6 locations. And you got the one dealership that everybody in the Valley loves, Gills Auto Sales, celebrating 40 years. And you can always find the Hubster at Gills on Highway 80 in good old Phoenix City, Alabama.
Ready or not, summer is coming, and Wayfair's Memorial Day clearance is on now. Right now through May 25th, get up to 70% off everything home at Wayfair. Plus, score amazing doorbuster deals all sale long and surprise flash deals on Memorial Day. We're talking thousands of products at every style and budget. Now is the time to save big on must-haves for your patio, backyard, and beyond. These savings won't last, so don't wait. Shop Wayfair's Memorial Day clearance now through May 25th.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
Hello, I'm Ozempic. And I'm other GLP-1s, kind of like him. Hey, are you shaking a maraca? Nope, I'm shaking the pill version of Ozempic, which no one should ever do except in ads like this.
A nice disclaimer.
Hey, thanks. Ask your doctor about which FDA-approved uses of the Ozempic pen or pill may be right for you. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and learn more about Ozempic semaglutide tablets, 9 milligrams, and Ozempic semaglutide injection, 2 milligrams.
There's a pill version of Ozempic.
I love playing sports, especially for my school. And that's because school sports are special. It's where it's safe to fail. It's where we're taught resilience, where our fear becomes confidence. It's where we learn to get back up after every fall. School sports are where 7.8 million students go from I can't to I can.
This message presented by the GHSA and the Georgia Athletic Directors Association.
This message is brought to you by the Armed Forces Vacation Club, a free membership travel hub for active duty military and veterans. The club provides a well-deserved escape during challenging times or post-deployments, or for cherished family moments. This exclusive travel club grants access to discounted 7-night resorts and savings on over 600,000 hotels, rental cars, and more. Discover the world for free at afbclub.com.
At the YMCA, finding your why starts by making an impact together, touching lives for the better. It can be the gift of time or treasure, supporting a community through talent without measure. Here, compassion fuels commitment, finding fulfillment through enrichment, serving and improving. What a way to live, and what a gift it is to give. Find your why and get involved today at ymca.org for a better us.
Working safely around underground utilities could put you at risk for outages, injury, and loss of life. Don't risk it. Alabama 811 plays a vital role in taking the request to have underground utilities marked. It's free, it's simple, it's the law. Visit al811.com for more info.
Many Americans have missed regular dental care in the past few years. It's important to see a dentist twice a year to identify any problems early. Taking care of your oral health helps overall health. Brushing at least twice a day with fluoride toothpaste and flossing daily can help prevent oral health problems. For more information, visit hrsa.gov/oral-health.
Put your phone on D&D. That means that do not disturb when you're driving. And when you're going from point A to B, I need you to stay safe, please, so always sing with me. So put your phone on D&D. That means that do not disturb when you're driving. And when you're going from point A to B, I need you to stay safe, please, so always remember this beat.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
You're waking up with a Sports Visions morning show on Sports Visions 92.1. Now back to former Green Bay Packer DJ Jones and Thrift Barringer.
Well, Dana Barker, good morning. How you doing? Welcome to the Sports Vision morning show.
Doing good. Doing good. Yeah. You said Richard's coming up. I heard Tevin Campbell, I think, on the other side of the break there. Yeah. He's R&B over there, over Richard. I like it.
Throwback Thursday, baby. That's how we do it. Listen, man, glad to have you on this morning, as we always do. We check in with you periodically because we want to make sure that we are getting, not only are we doing a PSA and a service to our community, to our high school football community, and of course those men that want to become high school football referees, want to give them enough information because you are that extraordinaire when it comes to giving them the instructions and all the information on the training and all what's necessary to certification. And we'll start with that this morning. I know it's spring ball right now, but realistically right now, if I wanted to call football games in the fall, what should I be doing?
Yeah, so really there's, two different states and two different governing bodies, if you will. So if you're on the Georgia side of the river, I would go to ghsa.net. If I'm in Alabama, go to ahsaa.com. There's places there to say become an official. I would just register with that. In our area locally, we have 4 different associations. There's one in Georgia, right here in Columbus. There's also one based in LaGrange, actually I'm a part of. In Alabama, there's one based right in Phoenix City that, could use some officials as well. There's one based in Auburn, Opelika. So we've got a ton of associations around the area you can get a part of. We do a lot of the local schools. It's fun. Like I said, it's like a brotherhood. We end up getting a whole lot of friends. I've got some lifelong friends from doing, calling high school football as well. But it's definitely a big need in this community for sure. And there's definitely a need for it. And we bring you along. And these spring games, like you're talking about, DJ, it's low key. I mean, it's low key. You're not gonna have coaches in your ear or anything. They're trying to install their packages, install their stuff with the kids anyway. So they're trying to teach the kids as well. And they understand it's a teaching moment for us too.
Dana, there's a spring game that's getting more hype than I have ever witnessed on social media. It's going to be at Troy University, Auburn, Thomas County Central. Is Alabama officials or Georgia officials, are they covering this when it comes to spring games?
I have no idea.
How much?
I have no idea.
Oh, okay.
I would assume those Alabama. I mean,
okay.
To talk about it though, I've got some unique insight on that because I fill in for weather. DJ talking about all my hats down in Albany. And they've got this Facebook page talking about Talk That Talk 229. So, they took a lot of smack down there at Thomas County Central, and they were actually in the region, I think, with Shaw back in the day, right, DJ? I think they were in the region with us. It was right. Them and Cairo and Bainbridge, all those schools on their Florida border. So they want their flowers. They want their just due. And I think them playing a 6A, former 7A powerhouse at Auburn, I think they want to play those schools. They want to be up against the best of the best of the best and play them and see what happens. So it's going to be a hell of a game. I would love to be down there. If I didn't have a game in Harris County tomorrow, I think my son and I would be heading on down to T-Roy and watching that game. It's going to be a good one for sure.
Now, you say a game in Harris County. Does that mean you're going to be calling a game, or you're going to to you're doing a football game?
Calling one, yeah.
Okay,
Harris County has us
that
tomorrow, so there'll be one
nice.
across the road here. And I think every school tomorrow, at least on the Georgia side, has some spring games.
I got you. Guys. So again, with the spring games, how they're different from the regular games? Do you guys stop? You guys just work on special teams? What's the itinerary of a spring game as an official?
Gotcha. Yeah, a lot of spring games are no special teams, like you said. So basically, they put the ball in the 30 or 35 to start going. Sometimes it's a set number of plays. Sometimes it's actual real football. I think tomorrow in Harris County will be real football. I know down in Troy, that'll be real football as well. They're going to probably, play 11-on-11 man up, probably with special teams down there too, just to get the full gamut of it. But a lot of times too, for officials, we cycle in and out. We'll cycle in and out of different series, different plays and things like that as well. But we try to call it a little bit lax. We try to talk to the coaches and talk to the kids. This is learning time for them too. We try to talk to them instead of getting flag happy and throwing flags left and right. We kind of tell them and kind of coach them up. After the game, I like to get with the kids and, tell them, hey, you got any questions for the year coming up? This is time to ask the referees that we're human as well.
Dana, I know when you talk about, the high school games, I know this baseball season right now, and there's a lot of the guys that double dip. So, I mean, is that affected? Do guys are they able to call games and schedule spring games, football games?
Minimally, what really the big thing though is you go to fall and we got flag football now.
Yeah,
flag football is blowing up in this area. You got Central across the river. That's the mythical national champions in flag football. You got Harris County's got a good squad over here on the Georgia side of things. So really the biggest challenge for us has been because a lot of the guys that call tackle football are calling flag football.
Okay.
So, the biggest challenge is that during the fall, not just a little overlap with baseball here. So we was trying to come up, accommodate that. And that's really where the deficit now really lies is not only we need bodies, but we need bodies to do a flag football game and then do a tackle football game on Thursday or Friday night too. So yeah, that's a great point of different sports we got going on.
Dana, what about the smaller leagues like the AISA, the GIAA, the GAPS? Do they take officials from experienced officials that work for the GHSA or the AHSAA?
Yeah, they do. They play the same rule set. The National Federation of High Schools rule set they do across all the different associations there. I would say AISA and GAPS and GIA is a little more, I would say, more low key. I mean, you're as much as I love it, you're not going to have as many eyeballs on an AISA championship, say, as you would on a rec championship at the Benz or one, for HSA or something like that. So, a lot of officials do that, and it's just as good as football a lot of times. But they play the same rule set and they have the same officials, and they kind of overlaps too. The rules are the rules across all the different associations.
Dana Barker is our guest this morning on the Sportsvisions morning show, and Dana has a couple of different hats that he wears. Again, we've been talking high school football officiating, and again, he's one of the better ones in this area. But Dana, my question with regards to the associations, you may mention that there were several associations within a close proximity. Why so many different associations? Go ahead and spit it out.
Man.
Nah. This guy don't like that dude, and this guy don't want to work for that dude. And oh my God. There we go. I mean, it's in officiating too.
There's actually, there's a need for it in this area because we got a lot of schools to go around. So
right.
On the Georgia side of things, I'm not really familiar. In Alabama, the Associated Phoenix City has Central Fifth Station, some of the schools around there. The one in Auburn, Opelika has the Auburns, has the Opelikas, has the other Lee County schools, if you will, goes up to the Valley and Lynette area. So, there's actually a need for having those different associations throughout the area, but they all roll up to the same state body, and they're all fighting for the same, playoff berth when they want to get in the postseason as well. So we're all, playing for the same piece of pie when it comes to either doing a game at Mercedes-Benz on the Georgia side or doing a game. I think this year it's in Mobile down at South Alabama Stadium for the state championships here in the HSAA.
Dana, you knew I was going to throw in a weather question. I love weather. I'm fascinated by weather. I don't think I could storm chase like Josh Pate, but
or Dana Barker. I did it last week.
You do storm chase. That's right.
Absolutely.
Man.
Where do you think Josh got it from? Come on now. I love Josh, but come on now. We're storm chasers.
June 1st is hurricane season. I am no longer in the National Guard. I remember I had to watch these hurricanes because, we're getting called up for that one. Oh, if it hits landfall in Georgia, the entire Georgia Army National Guard is going to get called up. If it's Category 1 in Savannah, everybody in the FEMA region is going to get called up. And I remember I used to plan my schedule knowing that I'm more than likely going to get called up for that hurricane. But you talk about what happened last year, a couple of years ago, Hurricane Helene, the one where it was projected to be a Category 1 that went through Columbus. The left side of the wall, actually the weak side of the hurricane, it didn't really hit Columbus. It actually hit East Georgia. When it comes to projecting the path of a hurricane, I know that it's not going to be perfect, but all those GFS models, you know how they have those.
GFS, I'm proud of you.
Yeah,
some knowledge. I like it.
All those. Oh, I watch the Weather Channel all the time when a hurricane comes through. And I watch you too, but just the model and the path. Just talk about what goes into that, because there's a lot of technology, a lot of people that just don't understand exactly what it's talking about.
Do you want me to get on a soapbox about the association? I'm fixing to get on a soapbox about this. Politics aside, we ain't going there. But the past several years, we've had a lot of degraded forecast models because we don't have the data that goes into them, because we've had some cuts at the Weather Service. Say what you want to about why the cuts are there. But every 12 hours across all the country, we put up these weather balloons that get the data up top. If you ain't got data or you ain't got good data, then your products ain't going to be good. So a lot of those cuts were in putting those balloons up. Sometimes they do them once a day. Sometimes they do them not at all. Down in Tallahassee, actually, they had a helium shortage where they couldn't put the balloons up at all. So, I mean, you got to have some good data to ingest in there. And the past several years, we've had challenges with that. So that's why Helene was going to hit Columbus, ended up hitting Valdosta, Augusta over that way. And then fast forward, though, why do you think the wildfires were so bad down South Georgia? All that tree debris and stuff that was already down from Helene, that was kindling for these fires to get really bad, too. So that was kind of a fast forward byproduct of that. But that aside, people need to care more about putting good data into this stuff, into the forecast models, and have an understanding of that. I think people are making decisions that may not have an understanding of that and how it works, and we need to learn them and teach them really how that stuff works. That's kind of what we've been up against lately. It really is, and it's tragic, it's sad, but that's kind of why we have a little bit degradation in the models here lately. But they're still good. We still do dang good forecasts. I think for the most part, we still do pretty good on forecasts. We nail a lot more than we miss. It's just the misses are the ones that we hear about a lot more than what we get right.
Well, Dana, I tell you what, you guys are popular as hell. I know that when I was in news years ago, obviously with WRBL, the news, or at least the weather, that's the highest ranking thing that's in the broadcast. And again, that's an honor. But I got to go back to this because my wife, she is, if she had to come back to this life again, she would be a meteorologist because that's something she grew up loving. And Dennis Phillips is in Tampa. He's a rock star. And I don't know if you know that name. But my question to you is that with all the great things that you have the opportunity of doing, because of the popularity of being a meteorologist, if you get, a deal, or if you get, proposition by and you don't have to answer this, but I mean, let's have fun with it. If you get, because weather is so good and people might like your style and they might need the next big one, would you be interested in taking center stage for a major network as a meteorologist?
That's my first love. It really is. Since I was 3 years old, weather's my first love. I tell people I did sports. I started getting into officiating because I really wasn't that big of an athlete growing up in high school. So that's kind of paying that back. But being a meteorologist, if you rewind back to Beauregard back in 2019, a tornado that killed 23 people, unfortunately, but we saved a lot of lives because of the forecast we gave, because we were on there with the warnings. And to hear somebody say because of your warning, Dana, or Derek Kincaid, or Bob Jeswald. You know, days like that, I don't care who you're watching as long as you're safe. You know, days like that when people say, hey, because of you, I sought shelter, you saved my life. That's more rewarding than any play you call on a football field. More rewarding than anything else you do in life is to have somebody say that you helped them. You know, you help them survive, and help their family survive, and have that servant's heart. So that's part of it as well. Another part is just, you know, I enjoy doing it and getting into science and just being able to predict stuff like that.
Dana, I do want to say something about that because I remember when the tornado was going through Midland and my family was in our closet. We were watching Facebook Live because the power could have gone out. And I think that is a game changer. It's been around for over 15 years. But talk about just the technology changing, allowing people to actually watch a weather on their phone, especially when they're in an area where they can't watch it on TV because the power could possibly go out. But
yeah, absolutely is. You go back to 2011, even that hellacious outbreak in Alabama, they had a line that went through in the morning and kind of knocked out power. It was kind of like a 1-2 punch. The line came through, nobody had power, and a lot of people weren't able to watch, but they were just starting to streaming on their devices. So people were watching Facebook Live or I think back then it was YouTube, things like that, and they were staying safe because of that. So I think TV's done a good thing because they're going now to apps, the big thing in TV now is doing a lot more streaming off the TV than on the TV. It's changing. I mean, if you don't change with the times, even from stuff 5-10 years ago, you know, you're behind. So TV's done a good job of adjusting with that. And I think like you said, it's a lifesaver to be able to take your TV in the shelter. And, you know, you're not taking some big old TV and lugging it in there. You've got this little portable device that DJ's holding in his hand right now, you know, that you can take to your shelter and be okay and stay safe. Absolutely.
Dana, my last weather question for you. Again, you made mention to some of your colleagues over there, Jeswald and all, but talk to us about how you guys are a team, how you guys rely on each other, how you guys obviously, you know, the scheduling and all of that stuff, man. But for the folks out there or the kids out there that might have an interest in weather, talk about how important it is for not only you know, you guys to have that unified understanding, but the mutual respect for each other.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, you know, Derek Kincaid and Bob Jeswald are the guys, you know, they're the standard here. They're the Chiefs. They're the ones that have been around longer. You know, we got Tyler Allender in the mornings on the DVM side. You've got Nicole, you've got Cody on the WRBL side. You know, they've been around a while as well. You know, how Columbus is, and DJ, you're privy to this as well. Columbus is a smaller market. It just is. And for the newer people coming out of college, it's kind of a stepping stone because pay in TV is based on the number of eyeballs are looking at you. If you go to Atlanta, that's the number 6 market in the country, versus us, it's number 127 in the country, you're going to get paid more because you get more people watching you. You get more marketing dollars. You get more sales dollars. So Columbus is going to be a stepping stone. You know, people in Columbus are like, why is he leaving? Why is he leaving? Only here 2 years. It's by design, guys. It's by design, you know. And people like Derek and Bob and myself, even to a degree, we relish that role because it's mentoring these kids. And then when you say, hey, I saw so-and-so on the Weather Channel. I saw so-and-so in Atlanta, in Dallas, in wherever, you know, that's a pride for us. We train them up, show them the ropes here in Columbus, which, you know, we get all kinds of weather like Richard was alluding to, and then see them progress and see them do better. It's a great rewarding thing there. And it's just the nature of the business.
It's the same thing on the sports side. You know, you find out, you see guys that come in and leave and here they're 2 or 3 years and on. And then, but you got guys like Phil Scoggins that, you know what, they transition into news and of course had a elaborate and a iconic sports career. But you know, again, it's a great job. It's a great deal. And I know that you are really, really fortunate to have that opportunity to do so many different things. And again, you know, again, you did that. You set yourself up for that. You prepared for that. You're the one that, you know, you passed the certification to be an official. You you did what it was necessary to be the PA announcer for our Columbus River Dragons. And you did the studying for the meteorologist gig. And of course the IT gig, which is obviously the primary. Hey, you know what? I guess the rest is history.
Yep. No, I appreciate that, man. It's about the grind, man. You got to put in the work to get the reward. And, you and Richard too, DJ, you guys are testament to that as well. You know, DJ, you've worn a ton of hats since I've known you back in the 90s. You and, the sports monster with you and V back in the day. We talked about, I think Thrift and I talked about that back, a little while. Richard's going to Macon to cover that, you went to cover a soccer game in Macon, Richard. You know, you're grinding too, doing the stuff with Alabama Sports Live, Middle Georgia Sports Live, and you guys know it's about putting in the work, putting a little bit of elbow grease, and you get the reward from it. Absolutely.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Hey, my friend, is there anything else that you want to, say before we let you go? Because I know with all the things that are going on, and again, it could be geared toward the spring games that are coming up, or it could be something to PSA to all of the potential prospective officials. And, so I'll let you have it.
Yeah, I would say if you want to become an official, we need you. If you're on the Georgia side and want to call in Georgia, it's GHSA.net. In Alabama, it's HSA.com. We don't care what state you officiate in. We'd use the body either side of the river here, either side of the water. So come on, and it's a great brotherhood. You will get rewarded for it. We get paid in December, and you can play Santa Claus and hand it over to the wife or hand it over to the family and say, go at it. That's kind of what I do every year myself here. So it's great, and it's a reward, and it's exercise without even knowing you're doing it. It's just a fun thing to do.
Do you have to have a social security card, a driver's license, a birth certificate? I mean, what are the qualifications?
I mean, yeah, you got to have ID to get paid. You get 1099 at the end of the year. So you got to have that. But that's the minor stuff. The fun stuff is that you get out there and you make a difference in these kids' lives, and that's the good thing.
Good deal. Hey, man, listen, we appreciate you and thank you, and you have a great rest of your morning, my friend.
All right, man. Love you guys. Love what y'all do, and I appreciate the invite again.
Thank you so much. All right.
Thanks, Dana. I get a call like, where are you, Yeezy? And try to hit you with the old wapty till I got flashed by the paparazzi. These got me.
Hey, it's Dan Patrick. Thanks for waking up with the Sportsvisions Morning Show with DJ Jones and Thrift Barringer. Catch me at 9 a.m. every weekday morning, right here on Sportsvisions 92.1.
Attorney advertising. Blake Swan, 4751 Best Road, College Park, Atlanta, Georgia. 921-200-7066. Paid actor dramatization. Top dogs not mean we are the best. No guarantees of success.
Every day I wake up, I see somebody trying to take my job. Doing videos of Top Dog Law commercials and then telling people to tag them. You think you could do it better than me? If you can, you get 10,000. It's the Top Dog Law Challenge. May 18th through the 31st. Record yourself doing a qualifying ad. Go to challenge.topdoglaw.com to enter. Post it on IG and hashtag TopDogLawChallenge. We'll pick our favorite. We'll hire you to create a real radio ad and pay you $10,000. First 500 to enter, get a Top Dog pack and a $50 visa. It's $10,000 on the line. I want to see everybody get creative. Post on IG and hashtag TopDogLawChallenge. Skill contest for contract runs May 18th through 31st. No purchase necessary. U.S. residents 18 plus, 25 states.
Lori's Furniture Express, your express way to saving.
Celebrate the Memorial Day holiday with some big savings at Gorey's Furniture Express. All rugs 50% off, plus markdowns on certain items throughout the store up to 75% off. And on top of all of that, Gorey's is going to pay your taxes. And that's only at Gorey's Furniture. You're going to love this place. Alabama Highway 169 in Opelika.
Sons Chevrolet is moving to our brand new home on Woodley Boulevard, and we're celebrating with a grand opening giveaway you don't want to miss. Register now for a chance to win a brand new 2026 Chevrolet Trax, plus oil changes for life. Register online before June 20th. Join us for the ribbon cutting on June 18th and the grand opening event leading up to the big drawing on June 20th at 5 p.m. Eastern. No purchase necessary. Visit sonschevy.com to enter and get all the details today. Sons Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
This message is from the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs. Veterans, do you have a copy of your DD-214? A DD-214 is a DoD certificate of retirement, separation, or discharge from active duty. It verifies your eligibility for benefits and services. The fastest way to request a copy is through the National Archives and Records Administration at archives.gov. Get the benefits you've earned. This message is from the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs. Veterans, do you have a copy of your DD-214? A DD-214 is a DoD certificate of retirement, separation, or discharge from active duty. It verifies your eligibility for benefits and services. The fastest way to request a copy is through the National Archives and Records Administration at archives.gov. Get the benefits you've earned.
My name is Corporal Bradley Joseph Seitz.
Jerry Reed.
Kate Weber.
These are real veterans facing a real challenge.
I have PTSD.
And I have PTSD.
I have PTSD.
Post-traumatic stress disorder can happen to anyone,
I was still in a war zone in my mind.
but treatment can turn your life around.
Treatment has really saved my life.
To learn about PTSD and how treatment can help you, call your local VA medical center or visit ptsd.va.gov.
In Iraq, our truck hit a roadside bomb. I had about 16 surgeries on my hand so that I could regain function. And when I came home, I needed a new roof due to a storm. And my electrical was deemed unsafe. And I was about to lose homeowners insurance as well. I didn't really know where to go in order to get help. And so I applied for Operation Homefront Critical Financial Assistance Program. They've really been a blessing. Operation Homefront is a safety net. A lot of veterans, they fall through the cracks sometimes. And Operation Homefront, they catch us. It's been a blessing to us. It's a blessing to other veteran families. And it's good to know that when we come home, there are people who are there that care about us and want to see us do well and want to see us succeed. And we feel it and we appreciate that. I would say you guys are angels behind closed doors.
Visit OperationHomefront.org to learn more.
The YMCA is just a starting line, for the true self blooms only when we find our purpose, what makes us tick below the surface. Y is the before work hustle, an after school home, a section of my block, a corner to call my own. With my Y, I stand strong, seen and supported all along. It's a million faces in a mirror and everyone belongs. Find your Y. Join today at ymca.org for a better us.
This message is from the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs. The VA Health and Benefits app is like a one-stop shop for veterans. They can view or cancel VA medical appointments, send and receive messages from clinicians, and realize many other benefits. Download the app on your iPhone or at the Google App Store, or wherever you normally get your mobile apps.
WLTC HD2 Casita and W221DP Columbus. You're listening to the Sports Visions Morning Show. Sports Visions 92.1. The only live and local sports morning show. It's the Sports Visions Morning Show with Chattahoochee Valley Sports Hall of Famer DJ Jones and Thrift Barringer on Sports Visions 92.1.
Welcome back to the Sports Visions Morning Show. DJ Jones, Richard Holdridge in the building. We're broadcasting from the PMB studios in beautiful Midtown Columbus, Georgia, just a 40-yard dash away from the Aflac Towers. Of course, the gates, that is. Richard, have you had the opportunity to measure that off out there yet? Because, again, from our front door to the actual gates, it's about maybe 40, 45 yards or so. But I want to be more exact because, again, people's like 40-yard dash away. Yeah, that's pretty doggone close. Yeah, it is. But you got to remember the perimeter in which surrounds the tower. They're sitting on a few acres over there.
Yeah, they are. I haven't had an opportunity to measure it, and I don't think I could get that measuring tape underneath the fence. Maybe start right at the tower. And I don't know if they're going to let me measure it, but
from street out on Winton Road, you could probably do the measuring tape.
I got to do a little geometry here to say, just don't measure from the building you can measure from the street. So yeah, we got to still make that happen. No, I just got to get the measuring tape out and we'll go ahead and make it happen so we can have an accurate measurement of how far the Aflac Tower is away from us.
I tell you what, we've been talking about a lot of baseball, both pro and high school. We hadn't talked a whole lot about college baseball, which obviously the SEC is one of the powerhouses in America right now. And I know that as the season is winding down, and the SEC got some pretty damn good baseball teams.
Yeah. And I always enjoy, we'll call it Selection Monday, because usually Memorial Day, that's when we find out where everybody is going to be for the regionals.
Yeah. Yep.
The top 16 teams will be hosting regionals. We expect Georgia Tech, Auburn to host regionals, regardless of what goes on in their tournaments. Really, the conference tournaments are designed for those teams in the bottom that they need an automatic bid to get into the NCAA tournament for baseball. Yeah, we talk about College World Series. Yeah, it's in Omaha. It's 8 teams. It's a double elimination. But it's the regionals where you have the double elimination tournament. You have the top 4 teams. And look, Georgia has not made the College World Series since 2008. I can't remember the last time Georgia Tech made the College World Series. I know Auburn recently did make the College World Series. These 3 teams that we root for, and you could throw in Alabama too, although I don't think they're going to host a regional, but they have an opportunity to get to the College World Series, which is a big deal, especially in college baseball. And I've always been curious now with NIL and the transfer portal, how much stock do these college teams put in, like their baseball program? Do they want to win a championship, and are they willing to spend the money to try to get a lot of the great baseball players in high school? They go off and play in the minor leagues, but I'm wondering if NIL is a factor in college baseball.
Are you kidding me? That gives them more of an option. Obviously,
Yeah.
You can go and get the college experience and get developed, live that life, and make that money.
Don't have to go to the minors.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Just to put a better perspective on college baseball as we start to talk about it. Talk about Baseball America and some of the best teams, in the country that we cheer for. Georgia Tech is number 2, and when you think about it, the Georgia Bulldogs number 4, the Auburn Tigers are number 6. So look, we got a lot to be grateful for. The Florida Gators, as well as Arkansas, are actually 9 and 10. And, Texas A&M at number 13. So, yeah, man, I mean, it's the SEC is, and I'm not going to say, doggone well that the money is not the same in football as it is in baseball. But, there's some coins to be exchanged as far, or should I say some bags to be exchanged in college baseball. And again, like I said, it gives the kid, even more options. I mean, to get drafted and get shipped off to the minor leagues, that's one thing. But to have an opportunity as a highly rated or an elite college baseball player to go and get that college experience and development that he needs to make some money, then always that'll make him, or that'll probably expedite or speed up the minor league process as you would just have to go and hang out in start in A ball or rookie ball, A ball, Double A, working your way up the gamut. I think, I'm not an expert, but from what I gather and what I've been able to see, that big time baseball programs, they're going to give you the cash, they're going to give you, the opportunity to develop, whereas rather than going on those long bus rides in minor league baseball.
Yeah, no question about it. And I remember last year, I think that Omaha, everybody wants to go there. It's been always a bucket list for me. Omaha, yeah.
Peyton Manning made that.
Well, first of all, why isn't Peyton Manning marketing the College World Series? Because that needs to happen where he goes, Omaha.
I guarantee you he has that. What do you call it? Trademark? I guarantee he owns that. He owns that.
He's got the trademark. Obviously, LSU last year winning it over Coastal Carolina. UCLA is the number 1 team. They're expected to be there. But you had teams like Murray State make it into the College World Series, right. Arizona, Louisville. And unfortunately, Georgia did not make it. They were one of the top teams, but they ended up losing in the super regionals. And you look at the top 8, they're going to end up hosting super regionals. It's not always a foregone conclusion that the top 8 teams in the country make the College World Series. You end up seeing Cinderella teams like Coastal Carolina, and one year they ended up winning it all. And I remember seeing, you're always going to see LSU, but in the past, I've seen trends. Oregon State has been a dominant powerhouse. I've seen Vanderbilt be a dominant powerhouse. But the streak that the SEC has is been incredible. They've had Ole Miss win it one year. They've had Mississippi State, Tennessee, LSU. It's incredible.
Yeah, absolutely. When I think about that, when you make mention of the College Baseball World Series out in Omaha, I've had the opportunity of actually making that trip.
Nice.
Again, back in the early 90s when I was with Mizuno, as that brand, we, had some of the top teams in America that wore our spikes and used our batting gloves and ball gloves and bats. Actually, not the bats because it were a college, it was aluminum bats. But yeah, it's a different experience. And I tell you, man, I've been very fortunate, very blessed to have seen some of the great venues and some of the great sports events of our time, from College World Series to Super Bowls to NBA Final Fours to World Series. I mean, it's been a ride. And I tell you, man, that's high cotton from a little old nappy-headed boy from Columbus, Georgia, man. I've been very, very, very blessed.
That is awesome that you had an opportunity to do that. But I was just curious, did you get a chance to see that 1990 Georgia team that won the College World Series?
I did not. I don't remember per se, because again, I was during my era, during my tenure there. I think I wasn't in the business just yet in 1990, but I remember obviously having a good time with, some of those guys and yupping it up. It doesn't matter what sport, University of Georgia wins a title in, whether it's a Southeastern Conference title or a national title. We're going to find a reason to party and hang out and celebrate. So, yeah, I mean, without knowing it and not, my mind is not as sharp as it used to be, but I'm pretty much, I pretty much can bet that I did have an opportunity to enjoy that team as well.
By the way, speaking of Georgia, their coach, Wes Johnson, has been named Coach of the Year.
Yeah, rightly so. I mean, the regular season, championship or at least the regular season title. But again, going into, the SEC championship is definitely something that we're looking forward to. Now, again, the thing is that, the people that love Georgia, that know Georgia, that follow Georgia, winning the SEC is not just the ultimate goal. It's kind of like the same mentality as football. You know what? You want to win it all.
Got to win that championship. And I talk about Georgia has not made the College World Series since 2008. I remember that team that lost to Fresno State. They lost in that third and final game because when you get to the championship, it's a best of three. And Georgia had a very special team that year. That was a magical team. I remember Gordon Beckham played for that team. But they were a heavy favorite against Fresno State. Fresno State was a 4 seed going into the region, which would be the equivalent of a 14 or a 15 seed in the NCAA tournament in basketball, winning it all. That was an incredible feat. But that was the last time Georgia really just tasted that chance, an opportunity to dogpile at home plate and win a College World Series. That's what we want to see with Georgia, and they got the team to do it. But so does Georgia Tech, so does Auburn. We got some fantastic teams that could be celebrating in Omaha.
And don't forget, Alabama's not too far out of it. They're in the top 20 as well.
Yeah, and I don't know if Alabama's going to be able to host a regional, but they'll be a high seed in somebody's regional, so they can end up coming out of that regional. And who knows what happens when you get to the super regionals, because you go back to being a best of 3 series. It's a double elimination tournament in the regional. And I cannot wait until that bracket comes out because I love that first round of the College World Series.
Absolutely. Now let's bring it a little closer to home as high school baseball has it. First and foremost, we made mention of it earlier in the show. However, Brandon Jenkins is the new head baseball coach at Harris County. Congratulations go out to Coach Jenkins, and I know he had been coaching softball, and of course I know that with the tragedy and the loss of Coach Dimitri, Brandon Jenkins those two being close, couldn't happen to a better guy.
Yeah, congratulations to Coach Jenkins. He was able to come in, especially at a very tough time where the whole community was hurting with the passing of Coach Tony Dimitri, and he just came in. And they had a goal this year. They were going to play for their coach, Coach Dimitri. They played inspired baseball. At times, they looked like they could win a state championship. They looked impressive. And that series against Kell, nothing to be hanging your head on, because Kell right now is playing in the state championship. So they know that they got a young team. A lot of those members that were playing on ESPN in the Southeastern Regional back in 2022 and 2023 are now freshmen and sophomores. So this is going to be a young team that's going to be a very good team for many years to come.
All right. Well, with that said, obviously, Georgia Alabama Sports Live is headed to Oxford, Alabama today. And again, Richard, you set it up for us. Tee it up, buddy.
All right. Well, in a couple of hours, Thrift and I are going to be piling in the car and headed up Highway 431, going through Wedowee and making sure, cutting across Interstate 20 and headed to Oxford Chakalaka Park.
Chakalaka, I like that.
Chakalaka, home of the Chakalaka Monsters of the SBL. And it's going to be game 1 between Glenwood and Gordo, the AHSAA 3A state championship. Games 2 and 3 will be tomorrow at Jacksonville State. But we're going to try to get there early. We're going to try to get a pregame show, and we're going to have a radio-only broadcast. It's going to be on Georgia Alabama Sports Live, but you're only going to be able to see the audio version of the broadcast. We did this last year, and it was a huge success, and now we're going to do it this year. Excited. Glenwood is actually not in school today because of Election Day, so hopefully a ton of Glenwood students will make their way up to Chocolaca Park and try to pack that stadium.
Let me ask you this, Richard, with regards to obviously, doing a game on the radio versus streaming. Does it change your technique or your ability to call a game either way? What is it something that you do differently? Help us out.
I actually don't do anything differently because I'm used to calling games on the radio. And so when you hear me on Georgia Alabama Sports Live, I'm usually giving play-by-play like it's a radio broadcast, but that's just me. But yeah, you could paint a broader picture, so because you're not seeing the action,
right?
So you got to treat this like it's a typical radio broadcast. I just personally, as a broadcaster,
right,
I'm used to radio, so I'm going to be in my comfort zone. But yeah, nothing's really changed for me. But I know that. Thrift is the same way, we've called games together. We've called many games together in the past 4 years. So we're both looking forward to, calling the game together, and it's going to be game one, Gordo rematch of the state championship last year. I know that Gordo's radio broadcast team was there last year. I expect them to be there this year. I expect a lot of Gordo fans. You know what their nickname is?
No.
The Green Wave.
All right.
Just like Spencer.
Okay.
But they don't really have Spencer's colors. Their green is a little bit more of a forest green.
I got you. And just to add a little bit of, of icing on the cake, as far as my experiences in broadcasting games on the radio versus the television, again, what you don't have is that you definitely know that when they're watching television, they see that they have a clock and they can see everything that's happening. But on the radio, you got to put more emphasis on making sure that they know what the score is.
Yes.
And also what inning and, of course, and what part of the game it is. Because, again, you can't see. And, again, it's theater of the mind, as they say. That's what calling a baseball game or calling, ball games on the radio is.
Yeah, definitely. But we will have a scoreboard up there. And periodically on a radio broadcast, when you're just listening to the radio only, because you hear Jack Johnson all the time give the score update, and just because you're trying to paint a broader picture. But this, you get a little, it's like a little cheat sheet. You'll be able to see the score if you are actually watching the stream of the audio on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. But some people don't even want to stare at the picture. They just want to listen to the game.
Absolutely.
So they're not watching that scoreboard. So, but it's either or. You have that in case somebody's actually staring at the broadcast on their phone, even though you're not seeing a picture moving. And then some people are listening to the game and treating it like it's a radio broadcast.
As long as you give them the score at the top of the inning and the bottom of the inning, you're okay. That's the minimum.
That's exactly what we're going to do.
All right, let's go ahead and take a quick break. When we come back, you know who we got. We got to introduce this guy. He's a sports director over at WRBL. His name is Jack Johnson. I don't think you guys have met him yet, but we'll have the opportunity. Actually, Jack Patterson. I said Jack Johnson on the brain. We're talking baseball.
Yeah, we were talking Jack Johnson.
Absolutely. Hey, look, that's not a bad thing. Jack Patterson, Jack Johnson. Same. Oh no,
they're both.
I screwed it up. I understand. No worries. No worries. Yeah. All right, you're watching Facebook Live as well as YouTube, and you're listening to WLTC HD2 Sports Visions 921. This is the Sports Visions Morning Show.
Hey, it's Dan Patrick. Thanks for waking up with the Sports Visions Morning Show with DJ Jones and Thrift Barringer. Catch me at 9 a.m. every weekday morning, right here on Sports Visions 92.1.
Good morning and happy Election Day on this Tuesday. I'm Tiffany Maddox with a look at your morning's headlines. For Election Day, the Urban League of the River Valley is providing free rides to the polls from 8 a.m. until 5 p.m. Now, you can reserve a ride by calling 706-322-6840, but you must cast your ballot at your regular voting precinct today. And former Lee County Deputy Cam Hunt is challenging Sheriff Jay Jones in the Lee County Sheriff's race. Jones, who has been in office for nearly 28 years, is working to get votes from the county, while Hunt is trying to play to the angle aimed at long-term politicians. Meanwhile, new forensic findings suggest the victim of the 35-year-old Opelika cold case was likely a teenager, which changes the investigation because detectives believe the victim was a young adult based on the original 1990 autopsy. Crime Stoppers is offering a $5,000 reward for information on the case. For WRBL News 3, I'm Tiffany Maddox. Make it a great day.
Good Tuesday morning. We are off to a mild start with temperatures in the 60s and low 70s with a few clouds. By the afternoon, temperatures have already skyrocketed to the upper 80s and even some low 90s under a mix of sun and clouds. Tonight, mild and mostly clear. Lows drop to the upper 60s. More sun in the forecast for Wednesday, but add an isolated afternoon pop-up thunderstorm to that forecast. The extended outlook keeps the low 90s and a chance of rain through the holiday weekend.
To get the full story, visit sportsvisions921.com and click on the WRBL tab. Sportsvisions 92.1.
Sons Chevrolet is moving to our brand new home on Whittlesey Boulevard, and we're celebrating with a grand opening giveaway you don't want to miss. Register now for a chance to win a brand new 2026 Chevrolet Trax, plus oil changes for life. Register online before June 20th. Join us for the ribbon cutting on June 18th and the grand opening event leading up to the big drawing on June 20th at 5 p.m. Eastern. No purchase necessary. Visit sonschevy.com to enter and get all the details today. Sons Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Now back to the Sports Visions Morning Show. Here's Denver Broncos 1987 AFC champion DJ Jones and Thrift Barringer.
Welcome back to the Sports Visions Morning Show. He stands 6 feet 1 inch tall, 265 pounds from Shaw U. Jack Patterson. Good morning, sir. Good morning, Jack. How you doing, bud? Is he frozen?
Oh, wow.
Wow.
That's a first.
That's a first. Yeah. Call us back, buddy. Call us back. Reboot that thing.
I think we might have him. Hang on.
We got connection. We got you.
Yeah, he's got a.
Yeah, just hang up and call back. You know how to do it. You know.
Man,
but yeah, man, we said it. We got to do that again.
We set him up perfectly.
Listen, that was just a practice. That was just a practice because when we get him back, we got to do it right. And of course, you still got that frozen screen up there, or you want to wait for him to get another screen back?
No, he's moving now.
He's moving him now.
Here we go.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, he stands 6 feet 1 inch tall, 265 pounds. Jack Patterson.
You did that so well. And the one time I decided to do this on my laptop, that for some reason whatsoever, the connection craps out. So I switched from the laptop to the phone, and now we ready to rock and roll.
Ready to rock and roll. Hey, man, how you been? How you doing?
I'm doing all right, man. Can't y'all see the sun is shining bright over here on the east side this morning?
I just thought that was a glow because your baby girl was somewhere close to you. So that's actually the sunlight bleeding down through the blinds on you over there.
Yeah, it normally does not do this, but hey, I ain't complaining. All right, makes me look good.
I got you. Where's Precious this morning?
She's in the bedroom with mom right now. I just got done feeding her right before we came on the air.
Well, we're feeling a certain type of way because you have made her a part of us, the family here, and me, Thrift, and of course Thrift just came in, and Richard. We think about your baby girl more so than we think about. Well, I ain't gonna tell you that. That's not but we appreciate it because Richard's a girl dad, and now he has some pointers. I mean, when you got some questions, hey man, you know what? He's got.
I know I can turn to Richard. Okay.
Yeah.
Richard's got way more experience at this than I do, okay? But at the same time, like I said, she'll make her appearances every now and again. But like I said, she just got done with her early morning feeding, and now she back in the bedroom with mama sleep, and she's all nice and tucked away. And that's cool because daddy's got to get up and go to work this morning. So, as soon as I get done with here, usually I can just go back to bed and, wait until my daughter gets ready for school. But yeah, we gotta hit the road today because we got business to take care of up in Oxford this morning.
Good morning, Chakalaka Park, man. I tell you, everybody, and I tell you, what? We've even got Coach Fanning going to be on here, so we got to try to get everybody we can, motivated and inspired to take that trip, man, because we want to pack out Chakalaka Park in Oxford.
Absolutely. So, Glenwood, game one of their state championship series, a rematch against Gordo. That's the team that Glenwood beat for the 3A state championship last year. So, Glenwood looking for that elusive four-peat for state baseball championships. They won their last two in the AISA and, of course, winning their first in the AHSA last year. So, yeah, and this is the important reminder for those who are looking to make that trip. Remember, game one is in Oxford at Chakalaka Park. Games 2 and 3 tomorrow will be at Jacksonville State. Okay? So don't drive to Chakalaka Park tomorrow thinking that you're going to see Glenwood baseball because they'll be up in Jacksonville State next week. I mean, not next week, tomorrow. And then the softball team will be there later this week, though. So you can catch the Glenwood softball team up there along with the Central softball team and the Beauregard softball team. They're all in their respective Elite Eight tournaments looking to bring home a state championship.
Yeah, no question about it. And the Auburn baseball team taking on Hewitt-Trussville up at Oxford and then at Jacksonville State. Going to be a busy week, especially covering Alabama baseball and softball playoffs. But we also have a local team here that just happens to play at Synovus Park this Saturday. Troup County trying to go back-to-back. They're going to be taking on Pickens. How cool is it that they actually changed the venue for 3A? Because they played at Rome last year, where they get to go 45 minutes down the road and try to pack that stadium with as many Troup County fans. And they are a local team playing at Synovus Park. And what does that mean just to have a close game for them to have their fans come out?
So this is something that, once they made the announcement, they made the official announcement yesterday, but it's been known that Synovus Park was going to be in the rotation of the GHSA state championships this year. But the $1 million question is, could a local team make it here? Could they make it? And when you look at, everybody's track record, one of the teams that you thought had one of the best chances is Troup County. They've played lights out essentially all season, one of the toughest regions of Class 3A, and they've been successful all season long. And now they're on the doorstep once again, and they get to do it just 45 minutes from home. Okay? And I can tell you, I was at the semifinal matchup with Peach County last week. Synovus Park is going to be rocking. If last week is any indication, okay? The Troup fans showed up, showed out. Richard, you'll appreciate this. I think there were more vuvuzelas at the Troup County game than there were at the 2010 World Cup, okay? So if you know, you know, okay? So the Troup fans showed up and showed out, and I expect more of the same Saturday night at Synovus Park.
Absolutely. Now, if you could, Jack, can you eloquently describe the experience, the atmosphere of up at Troup? Because again, we keep hearing about, it was off the chain and it was crazy. So kind of go take a deep dive and go elaborate a little bit more if you can.
I mean, it's loud. It is loud. And, everybody shows up, and it's one of those deals where, kind of similar to what we always talk about here in Columbus, DJ, when we always say, when you have a team that's on the precipice of, making a run at a state championship, how everybody kind of shows up for them, right?
Right.
Well, that's kind of what it was at Troup County. Not just the student section showed up. Troup County has got a fantastic student section, okay? One of the best in our area. And they show up and show out. And then, you got all the friends and family showing up and showing out. But then you also got, and I took notice of this when I was up there. I also saw some folks from both Callaway and LaGrange there supporting Troup County. Now, it does not take a rocket scientist. If you know sports in our area, you know that Troup and LaGrange, that is a major, major, major rivalry, okay?
Absolutely.
All right. And it's not like Troup and Callaway aren't rivals either. They just don't play as often because they're not in the same classification. But Troup and LaGrange is, they are, pick the comparisons, whether it's Central Smiths or Carver Spencer or, who you can pick the comparison, Auburn Opelika, the comparison's there, okay, between Troup and LaGrange. And yet you still see everybody coming out to support them. All right. And,
yes.
and like I said, in that tucked away corner of the Troup County's campus, it is loud. Okay, and like I said, they come out with the cowbells, they come out with the vuvuzelas, and it is a tough place to play. Just ask Peach County. Peach County was a really good team, but Troup County came through and took game one easily, and then handled business in game two to punch their ticket here. And now, granted, the venue shifts 45 minutes south, but at the same time, I don't think it's going to be a problem for the faithful rocking the blue and gold to make it down to Synovus Park. And honestly, it's been, just a wave of momentum dating back to last year in Rome, where this team has just rode the wave, and now they're on the doorstep of making even more history.
Absolutely. Let me do this. Let me shift gears a little bit, and I wanted to congratulate the Pacelli ladies soccer team. And I know that they that's something, that's just what they do. As Richard like to say, that's just what I do. And but I want you to go ahead and expound a little bit on that soccer team.
Absolutely, that's right. It's just what they do. Okay, when they get to this point of the year, they are there. Okay, it's almost you can bank on it. Same thing with the boys as well. That Pacelli soccer program. You know that you can look for them to be players in the GIAA state title race, and they are once again the girls. Handle business. I say that very loosely because they won 10-0 yesterday. Okay, but they took care of business against George Walton Academy, so they're on to the Final Four. And the boys, they play tonight. They have an opportunity to punch their ticket to the Final Four. And we talk about this all the time, but it sneaks up on you. But this area is just really, really good at soccer. Really, really good at soccer. Where you talk about the Pacelli soccer program, the Brookstone soccer program has been great this year. Calvary Christian, they've won state titles in the past, and they are good again this year. Of course, we talk about Columbus all the time. They both of their teams made it to the Final Four. You talk about Jordan, who made a run to the Elite Eight. And if to be honest, the only reason why they didn't make it to the Final Four is because they had to play Columbus. Okay. And then, even if you expound a little bit, over in Auburn, the boys and girls won the AHSA 7A state titles. They swept, and the Lee Scott girls won the Class 3A state title. Like I said, this area is just really, really good at soccer. But then again, we're really, really good at just about everything.
Jack, something that, this probably hadn't gone viral yet, but obviously I think the last time something actually around here that went viral that I can remember of locally was when, of course, you had that episode where, this certain personality from ESPN came by when you were doing a stand-up, and that thing that had a life of its own. But we were, of course, at the Civic Center just on Sunday, and a young Fort Valley punter took off his shoes and kicked a field goal and won $8,000. And again, if that doesn't go viral or it hadn't gone viral yet, I don't know what will.
Now, I agree with you, DJ. And I think it's not just cool that he, went shoeless and kicked the field goal to win $8,000, but what came of it, and leave it to Roger Beck and Corey Black and the team over at the Lions to make a positive, even bigger positive. Okay. And that, they signed him to an NIL deal.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And I think that's just the coolest freaking thing. Okay. That you take something so positive already. Okay. Like, what's cooler than kicking a field goal and winning cold hard cash? Okay. That's cool. Okay. But then you take that positive and you make it bigger, and you make a positive impact in that kid's life by saying, hey, we're going to sign you to an NIL deal. Okay. And, I don't care, what the monetary amount is or whatever the case might be, but, that's a game changer. Okay.
Right.
In the right hands, that's a game changer. And like I said, it just goes to show, what Coach Beck and Coach Black have done with that organization in such a short period of time. Because, once again, you got people talking about the Lions. Okay. And, that, and it's not just talking about the Lions on the field, but they're talking about them off the field as well. Whether it been, the kicking challenge or, what they've done for the fans or the halftime shows. Like, all you've seen is, just a buzz about that around that team. Not to mention they're still undefeated. So everything's just clicking right now for the Lions.
Jack, how about the Shaw girls track team? They bring home the Shaw's first state championship since 2001. And talking to Coach Fuellen yesterday, a lot of the girls broke track records. They really showed up and showed out in Athens. And then the boys team, best finish in 25 years, they finished in 4th place. So it was a great day to be a Shaw Raider at Athens last week for the track and field state championships.
Okay, first things first, let me throw impartiality out of the window for a quick second, Richard, okay? It's always great to be a Shaw Raider, okay? We gotta keep it 100, okay? But I had the opportunity to profile this team as our athletes of the week a few weeks back, right before sectionals. And this was always the mission for this squad, okay? This was always the mission that, they felt like they could go to state and they could be players in the state tournament. And, you see what they did. And, just going back and watching it, it was a lot of talented teams up there. And the girls just really took flight, and seriously, being able to win the relays the way they did, and it's just, it's just showing just the work they put in, throughout the summer. And when you even think about it, and I think this is the part of the story that doesn't get talked about a lot, is they didn't get a chance to train, on a track at the beginning of the season because of the construction that's going on in Kinnett Stadium right now.
Yeah.
And so they were, running hills over at the parking lot of the school. If anybody's ever been to the Shaw parking lot, y'all know that huge hill as you exit the parking lot. They were running those hills, and then, anybody that's ever gone to Shaw, there's a bunch of hills, and stairs behind the gym and everything. And, that's the kind of stuff, they basically made do with what they had, until the track was cleared for them to go compete at. And, you think about those things and just being able to overcome that kind of adversity. And then not to mention, just going back to the point I made a few minutes ago, we got a lot of great track teams around here. You look at Carver having state champions, teams placing well at the state championship. Spencer having teams place well at the state championship. We had several schools in our area that were competitive at the state level. Okay. And, to be able to survive that in the region, then survive at the sectionals, and now to be able to go and be able to, do everything that you need to do to be successful at the state level. It just goes to show the work that they put in all season long. And, like I said, like you guys said, 25 years since the last team state championship at Shaw High School. That was the 2001 baseball team under Coach Flowers. And, like I said, it's a big deal for the athletic program, and it's what that athletic program has been working towards for so long. We always talk about, just how much of a history and tradition that program had, that Shaw's athletic programs had. But, it's been some lean years over the last, over the last decade or so. But to be able to come back and bring a state championship back, and I'd be remiss if I didn't say this as well, that I feel like it is poetic that, just a few weeks after legendary track coach Edgar Johnson passed away for Shaw, he, brought state championships to Shaw with that track program. He passed away just a few weeks ago. I feel like it is poetic that they were able to bring home a state championship in his memory.
Jack, lastly, of course, Brandon Jenkins was named the Harris County baseball coach, and I know that, a lot of folks up there are still dealing with the tragic loss. However, again, it couldn't have gone to a better guy.
100%. I saw that last night, and I'm like, it's a no-brainer. It really is. And Coach Jenkins, he's got that championship pedigree. We know what he's done in the softball ranks. And just because, it's softball doesn't mean the man don't know ball, okay? The man knows ball, okay? And I allude to I think about somebody who's in a similar position to what Coach Jenkins is going to be in, and that's Tanner Glisson. You know, coaching one sport in the fall, and now he's going to be coaching baseball in the spring. And you know, a lot of people think, you know, is it going to be too much, right? But a good coach is a good coach, okay? And Brandon Jenkins is a great coach, and I think he will be just fine juggling both of those programs. You know, they already kind of intertwined anyway, so to be able to put him in that position, and he's got a great staff around him as well. So the county's going to be just fine, y'all, and that's going to be in both sports.
Well, Jack, you know how it plays at this particular point. Let us know, of course, how we can find you and follow you on social media, and when will we be able to watch you again on television?
All right. So we are all over the place today. I am getting ready to hit the road as soon as I get done with y'all. We're heading up to Oxford today. We're catching up with the Glenwood baseball team, game 1 of their championship series against Gordo. We'll also have the Beauregard softball team as well. We'll be up there essentially all week, okay, covering all the teams. So we'll be there. We'll also have Troup County covered this weekend as well. So stick with WRBL News Street on air, online at WRBL.com, and on WRBL Plus. We will have you covered with all the playoff action as we try to crown some state champions.
Thank you, my friend. And, of course, you have a great rest of your morning.
See you Thursday.
All right. Take care. That's Jack Patterson. Hey, let's go ahead and take a break. And, of course, we'll come back with more on the Sports Visions Morning Show.
We're going to party, caramba, fiesta, forever.
If it's local, it's on the Sports Visions Morning Show with former Georgia Bulldog DJ Jones and Thrift Barringer.
Lori's Furniture Express, your express way to save.
Celebrate the Memorial Day holiday with some big savings at Gorey's Furniture Express. All rugs 50% off, plus markdowns on certain items throughout the store up to 75% off. And on top of all of that, Gorey's is going to pay your taxes. And that's only at Gorey's Furniture. You're going to love this place. Alabama Highway 169 in Opelika.
Straight Talk Wireless presents Pickup Truck Wisdom.
Trust is earned. That's why I've stuck with Straight Talk. Same price since 2009 on Verizon's 5G network. Cause shoot, anyone can make a promise. Keeping it for years, that means something.
Now plans starting at $25 a month with 4 lines. Find us at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Straight Talk Wireless. Straightforward. Always. Same price claim applies only to the base monthly price of our $45 plan from October 2009 to present.
It's more than a rebellion. When your teen is slipping into drugs or alcohol, when social media and pornography consume their time and their mind, when depression and even suicidal thoughts cast a shadow over your home, as a parent, you feel powerless. There is hope. At Turnabout Ranch, troubled teens step away from the chaos and into a clarity of nature on a working cattle ranch. Care for horses, learn responsibility, build trust, and rediscover purpose. It isn't theory, it's real work, real therapy, real healing. Families from across the country have found transformation right here, just when they thought hope was gone. If your teen is struggling with addiction, harmful online behaviors, even weight management, call right now and get the help you all need.
800-215-7996. 800-215-7996. 800-215-7996. That's 800-215-7996.
Covering local and national sports. This is the Sports Visions Morning Show on Sports Visions 92.1. Drafted by the Pittsburgh Pirates and the Green Bay Packers. Here's DJ Jones and Thrift Barringer.
I've been moving
Welcome back to the Sports Visions Morning Show. DJ Jones, Thrift Barringer in the building, and Richard Holder. Good morning, Thrift.
Great morning, DJ. I hope everyone's having a fantastic start to their week, and it's going to be a busy week. Jack made mention, and y'all talked. I was listening about everything that's still going down this week, all the state championships. So once we get through these 2 weeks, hopefully we can reset and reload this summer.
Well, we got to start with, obviously, how we were blessed, of course, on Sunday by the voices or the voice of Leandria Johnson. We were just talking about it during the break about how inspirational she was, how motivational. I mean, it was just it was a blessing to be in the presence of that beautiful voice from God.
Yeah, there's not many people that have that capability, DJ, that can just really strike a chord and a nerve in the whole arena. There were several people that I was telling you, it was something they had overcome. It was with a lot of emotion, and there's not a lot of people that got that much of a powerful voice. I was thoroughly enjoying the halftime show, and I said it on my social media. The Lions did it again, man.
Yep.
I love what Corey and Roger Beck do. They hit every crowd. We've done country music. We've done gospel music. They've had rap on. They've had pop on. I mean, it doesn't matter. They're trying to hit everybody in the Columbus community. And by the way, Lions are 5-0 too.
5-0. Of course, the Nighthawk, man, again, what a tremendous trio. You know, you make mention, I know that Corey and Roger's names are synonymous with regards to, everything that happens down there. But you got to shout out the Nighthawk, man. I mean, because, again, the bottom line is undefeated. And, and they're killing people.
And one of the main reasons, and he has said this over and over again, is the only thing he has to focus on is coaching football.
That's right.
In years past, he was the salesman. He was the operations game day guy. He was putting the script together. He was trying to get halftime. He said, you don't have to worry about none of that.
Yeah.
All he has to worry about is focusing on football. And guess what? The football team's winning by 50 points. I will tell you, I was impressed with Peach State. I'm just bringing this up because the last two times they faced off, me and Richard were there for it. 80-8, DJ, and 66-12. 54-30, a little bit closer. And it was a 14-point game. And that was the first time all year we've seen someone be successful with that goal ball that they came in with the 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
It made a little bit of a difference, not much, but all in all, the Lions, bye week's coming up, #1 team in the AAL.
I must say that it was actually a privilege, and I forgot how much fun it was to watch the game because the last first few games that I've been down there, I sat in the stands. I wanted to get that fan experience, but this past game I was able to go down on the floor and hang out up against the pads there and be real close. And man, that's a fast physical game. I tell you what, man, it's nothing like it. And if you hadn't been yet, I mean, what are you waiting on? I mean, obviously. If you say, so what if you don't like football? Again, the entertainment, from the standpoint of when you first walk in with the kids and all the experiences that they can do with all the games and things that they can play. But again, the incredible selections and the variety of halftime selections, man, it's been off the charts.
And no doubt, man. And you're right. They hit every avenue. It's fun, family fun. Is what I wanted to say, and they're winning too. So glad that we get to be a part of it, man. And you talked about it with Jack. Incredible. Elon Hall, the kid from Fort Valley State.
Yeah.
I thought it was planned because this is week after week that guys and girls that are trying to kick this, and it's a $5,000 kick to start the season, and Roger Beck's added $1,000 each week that they don't have someone that kicks the field goal. Well, DJ, no one's even came close. I'm talking about they're not even getting high enough in the air yet, let alone to even get close to it. And this young man booted it over the net. Unbelievable. And I remember after it happened, I saw Corey Black's face, and it was like, dang, so this is genuine. This is real. And I'm hoping many people all across the country can see it.
Richard, were you down? You were down there, right?
Yes, I was.
And you saw how they stormed the field. I mean, that was everybody from Corey, Ron, everybody that was the opposing team. They went after this guy because they were really, I mean, that's how enthused they were and how much energy was in the building.
Yeah, it was truly an electric atmosphere. That guy coming in clutch, ice water in his veins. Many times you see, the kick of destiny and all these promotional kicks. You see these people shank it because they just can't handle the pressure. This guy could handle the pressure, and he kicked it right through the uprights. It was incredible. And Mike Peacock had an incredible call as well. And I tell you, it was truly an inspiring day, and I was glad that I was able to be a part of it.
Absolutely. Guys, the realistic part about what's happening here in a few hours is that you guys will be headed northwest to Chakalaka Park. And again, that'll be where I know that, there's an exciting high school baseball going on. And, hey, look, give us the details on what's going on and when we can hear it.
Glenwood versus Gordo. It's a rematch of last year. Gordo comes in 33-8, 32-8 on the season. And they're trying to win another state championship. They've got several in their history. Gators come in on a hot streak. They have scored 15 runs in their last 6 games, DJ. In the playoffs in general,
Say that again?
15 runs a game in the last 6 games.
Per game?
Per game, DJ.
15?
77 runs. They are beating teams by 15 to, I think, 2 is the score over the last 6 games. Every series has been a blowout. Lee Scott, their rival last week, they won the first game 16-2, and they won the next one 14-3. Just absolutely obliterated them. The thing is, though, Gordo comes in on similar hot streak. They have not lost a playoff game at all this whole time, and they've won by 10 runs or more the last 2 playoff rounds. So should be a lot of fun. Game starts at 3 o'clock Eastern time. Because of the rules in the AHSA, this will not be broadcasted visually on Georgia Alabama Sports Live, but you can hear it. We'll blow up a score bug. We'll put the camera on me and Rich every now and then, but it can't be on the game. But we want to give you some type of coverage, so we're going to be there at Chocolaca Park today.
I asked Rich this earlier, and I'm going to ask you again, the difference between calling a game that they could see while it's streaming versus just audio only. Are there any differences in your delivery or your presentation?
Definitely both, DJ, because we're having to paint the picture now. Totally different. And honestly, and we've talked about this several times on here, DJ, there is a difference in calling a game that is being televised / streamed and a game on the radio. A game on the radio, no one can see it. They're listening. You're painting the picture, theater of the mind. When they're watching a stream, you don't have to do it that way. And for a lot of our guys, and these are experienced guys, they're so used to the radio side of it, they kind of do that with the stream, and it's like, hey, you don't have to say every little detail because guess what? People are watching it, but you got to do it for radio. So it's going to be good to get back to the old roots, the days where we would go and do games, DJ, on the radio. It was a lot of fun, and I like doing that. I do. So I think it's going to be pretty unique and cool for me and Big Rich, and I know we both cut our teeth at doing that.
Yeah, just for instance, Big Rich, when we were doing these games on the radio, he'd say, hey, the coach got the whistle in his mouth. He got, because they couldn't see, whatever. I mean, now you'll say, oh, well, yeah, he's taking a good lead, but on first base, he's got 3 steps up. He's off and run. Yeah, it's a little different. But again, I think that the joy of these games and broadcasting these games, whether they're radio or whether they're streamed, is that the exposure for these young people and these teams, man. I tell you, this thing here is leaps and bounds beyond where we were in yesteryear.
I agree, DJ, and I just want to make sure everybody has an opportunity to hear someone call their name with some excitement. No offense to the guys that do it at the state level, because I know this from doing GIAA, but, I mean, only time, like when we do GIAA state championships, only time I'm thinking about schools that are not from my area is 3 days before the game when I'm preparing for it. It's a whole different ballgame when you cover a team all year long and then you get to call it. So I'm glad that we get to do that for the Glenwood Gators.
One thing, too, again, to note, now you're talking about how, these games have been blowouts, so that the Glenwood has, spotted folks, 14, 15 runs. Right. Now, when you get, it's just like in any other game, when it's a blowout, having 2 personalities, a color guy and a play-by-play guy, then now you can start to turn it into somewhat of a sports talk show as opposed to the game, because the game is out of control. And how important is that, Richard, when the game is out of control and then, again, it's a blowout either side, and you can integrate a lot of the, the statistics as well as the personalities of the kids, their accomplishments, the coach and who he is, where he's from, and that kind of thing.
Yeah, if you're a fan of nostalgia, like I am, I could end up going down a rabbit hole and talking about the history of Glenwood and how Mason McCrane is tearing it up at Auburn, and talking about former Glenwood Gators. And I got to do my research on Gordo, because I really don't know a whole lot about Gordo. They were in the state championship.
How do you not know a whole lot about Gordo? Thrift, can you believe that?
I
mean, it's a household name around here.
Exactly.
Gordo.
You should know everything from the back of their hand.
What's their mascot anyway?
The green wave.
Yeah, you told me that. Yeah, with the deep green.
With the forest green.
Forest green.
Yeah.
I tell you, one of the biggest problems that in lies with what you're talking about, DJ, which I agree with you wholeheartedly. I refuse to be on the broadcast by myself in a blowout. I just can't do it. My guys get mad at me because, we know when Thrift's game's a blowout because he just doesn't talk as much. Because it is tough when you're by yourself and you're doing a now hour-long radio show just blabbering on. I hate doing that. But when you have someone with you, you can crack jokes, have fun. I think that is very crucial to keeping a broadcast alive. Where the problem may come sometimes is when you make it a radio show when it's a good game.
Yeah.
That's when, hey, there is a 2-point basketball game going on, and we're talking about what has happened in 10 miles away or nationally. And so guys are having to work on that. But baseball specifically, there is so much dead time. I think it's almost imperative that you have a person with you.
You know, the only thing that, that bothers me, and again, you guys do an incredible job, is that you don't talk about the food and concessions nearly as much as you used to. You know, you got a fan following out there that want to know, hey, look, how's the ballpark food? You know, what's the specialty? What food truck is there? You guys, go ahead.
Tell you what happened last year?
Yeah.
We didn't get any food. I can't speak on Richard, but when we were at Jacksonville State, the AHSA did not have us any food. And remember, we talked about with the GHSA. Yeah. But when I get to Stratford next week, Richard, for soccer, it is the most elite, extravagant, gourmet. I mean, DJ, it could feed 500 families. How much food is at Stratford and the hospitality? And then they cook it. It's fresh, too. It's a lot of moms, a lot of potluck. That's how you're supposed to treat people. They got to work all day broadcasting games and calling games and refereeing games. So, hey, public schools,
Richard,
get on it.
I know that, that right up there with calling games with you is the actual food selection. Because, again, I know we're going to get a menu, or at least we're going to get something out of you. But can you please, when you guys go up here to Gordo and Chakalaka, can you tell us, Glenn, do they have jalapenos to put on the chili dogs? I mean, give us something.
So, I was there last year because I did the game, and I was the only one that actually went up last year. I got there, and they did have a hospitality room, but because I got there super early, that 4A championship was still going on.
Right.
So we had a little bit of a late start. By the time the game finished, everything in the hospitality room was wiped out. Yes, they did have a hospitality room, but they didn't have enough food.
Yeah. Thrift, here's one. When I'm watching you guys, it's kind of like, you say theater of the mind, but this is like casino of the mind. Are you betting that Thrift got your hair up or down? People, I'm serious, man. People want to know.
Trust me, I didn't know that either until on Sunday. I'm doing my thing, running up and down the stairs and losing at least 5 pounds every time I do the lines. I run up and down that crow's nest stairs.
What's that? Give me the reason why you have to go up there.
A lot of it is to do because of communication. Sometimes we're struggling to be able to hear ourselves.
So you don't have that closed circuit walkie-talkie?
I mean, we normally we do have an app called Discord on our phones. But the problem is everybody's on their phones. Yeah. It's super loud in there, even with my headset. And then it gets distorted because I get so many different Bluetooth. So I like going up there, especially if I get old Uncle Beck coming in, Coach Beck saying, hey, we want this, this, and this. I can't get a hold of Mike and them. Your boys running up and down the stairs. Had FJ with me, which, again, when you have a little man with you, it's good that you're moving around a lot. They love every second of that.
Yeah.
But it was a fun time. But when I was walking around the Civic Center, DJ, there was this lady's like, no man bun today, because I had my hair down. There you go. Yes, I had to wear it down. It was cold, so I decided to wear it down in the Civic Center.
I had to share that with Richard. I mean, it's like, you guys, when you pick this field to come into, and obviously, you think you can just get in here by just calling games. No, your life changes. When you walk into a mall, Richard, you got people coming in on your hair's growing out now. You've been walking around with a buzz cut most of your military career. Now people really know. I mean, hey, you're growing a goatee. I mean, people notice.
And I joke around. And I don't think it's realistic, but I make the joke that I'm trying to grow my hair out as long as Thrift's.
Well, hell, don't feel bad because hell, for damn near a year and a half, that people didn't know who the hell I was when I shaved my head. I mean, because I had the little fro, and but now I got the nice shiner.
Yeah, DJ. I'm going to say this. When you decided to cut it off, I feel like you've aged backwards these last couple of years, man. That's just me. I mean, you look fantastic, dude. So I hope I can get to that point. So much so, DJ, you're influencing others in our group. Mike Frost decided he went full shave. I'm doing it, man. I just got to. He said he doesn't want to wear a hat every time on the broadcast, and I do think that's important. And he says, you know what? It was just time. And I'm like, if anyone I know and has to go through that, I trust me, I feel like eventually it's going to be my time. I mean, knock on wood. I'm going to have to cut my hair. I know it's coming, but damn it, I'm going to enjoy it as long as I got it, right?
Absolutely. And you just have to make a decision if you want to live. And again, Miss Candy came into my life, and it was fun, doing them, and it was a great career. But you got to figure out if you want to give up the Browns liquor and cigarettes, or do you want to walk the straight and narrow and live another 25 years eating healthy and exercising and enjoying life, enjoying peace, a peaceful life.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to check out.
Say that second part again.
Brown liquor and cigarette, a peaceful
peace. Some people, including myself, don't know what that is.
Well, when you're young like you are, and you obviously, that's that was, you won't appreciate that until you've gone through many, many trials and tribulations. Because again, right now, as a young guy, you know what? That's part of the growth process. That's part of you learning, and that's part of you building your business.
Yeah, but you say it all the time. Peace of mind.
Yeah,
is just as crucial as what you eat and how you exercise. If you ain't got peace upstairs, it affects your whole body, DJ.
Richard, you want to chime in on that, Richard? Because you're sitting over there probably in the middle of both of us as far as how from one end of the spectrum to the other. And, what's your thoughts?
For somebody that's recently retired from the military after 23 years.
You got it made.
I am just resonating, just trying to sit back and see everything from a 10,000-foot ceiling, just to see the big picture and what my purpose is. That's why I went to a retreat for military veterans to try to find my purpose. There was a lot of veterans out there trying to find their identity because all they knew their entire life was military. And so when you go out into the world, you're trying to see exactly what can you do? Like, what can you serve as far as this community? And I got a lot of options, and I'm weighing those options, and I'm truly blessed. I tell you, I've never been happier, just because the military does cause a lot of stress.
Yeah.
And in fact, funny story, my former company commander called me up yesterday thinking I was still in the military because he had a question he wanted to ask me. And I had to nicely say, I just want to let you know, I don't mind answering your question, but I've been retired since January. I just thought you might want to know that. But I thought that was funny because people still relied on me in like I was a valuable asset, and I still have those traits and qualities where people tend to forget that I'm out of the military, but they'll still ask me a question.
Well, now that Thrift and I have your services, we appreciate what you do for Georgia Alabama Sports Live, and we appreciate what you do for Sportsvisions. Hey, let's do this. Let's take a break. When we come back, you talk about peace, you talk about energy, you talk about a coach that motivates and knows how to get it going. Yeah. You don't go anywhere. Come back. I'm not going to even tell you who it's going to be. I just want you guys to come back because this guy, he has energy for days, and I love talking to him. We'll be right back after these messages. You are watching Facebook Live as well as YouTube, and you're listening to WLTC HD2, Sportsvisions 921. This is the Sportsvisions Morning Show.
Stay tuned. More local and national sports coverage next on the Sportsvisions Morning Show. Sportsvisions 92.1.
Want to win a brand new Chevy Trax? Visit sonschevrolet.com to register and get details. New location coming soon. Sons Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
My dog was telling me the other day, hey, thanks for switching to Spruce, that new weed killer. Okay, not in words, but in tail wags and 20 straight minutes of zoomies in the garden. Spruce is tough on weeds and works fast. We're talking dead weeds in just one day. And it's safe to use around pets when used as directed. Quick results and peace of mind for my pup. That's why I made the switch to Spruce Weed Killer. Try Spruce, the new weed killer. Pet friendly, weed deadly.
Do you want to save money on your next flight? Then pick up the phone and call. That's right, call. Because the best prices are not online. They're with SmartFares. See, SmartFares has special deals with the airlines. When they have unsold seats, they use SmartFares to fill them. So you get airline tickets at crazy low prices. They have access to great prices and discounts at over 500 different airlines. Plus 300,000 hotels and rental car companies. Their prices are too low to publish online. With the extra money you'll save, you can book another trip or treat yourself to dinner or shopping. So stop searching all of those travel sites to find the lowest price on your next flight. Let one of our SmartFares expert travel agents find the best price for you. Call SmartFares today and get ready to see the world with a fat wallet.
800-871-3291. 800-871-3291. 3291. 800-871-3291. That's 800-871-3291.
WLTC HD2 Casita and W221DP Columbus. You're listening to the Sports Visions Morning Show. Sports Visions 92.1. The Herd with Colin Cowherd. 12 to 3 on Sports Visions 92.1. Now back to the Sports Visions Morning Show. Here's Carver Tigers legend DJ Jones and Thrift Barringer.
Welcome back to the Sports Visions Morning Show. DJ Jones, Thrift Barringer, and Richard Holdridge in the building. We're broadcasting from PMB Studios in beautiful Midtown Columbus, Georgia. Just a 40-yard dash or so down from the Aflac Tower. Guys, it's a great day for a great day. And, of course, I made mention of a guy that is full of energy. He's inspiring. He's a winner. He's a championship-level coach. Let me introduce him to a few and, of course, announce to others. Coach Tanner Glisson in the building. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good, guys. What a great day the Lord has made, baby. DJ, I want to see your 40 time. You speaking of 40 times, let's go, baby.
Yes, sir. Once upon a time, 4-4 was something else, but right now 6-4 is maybe closer to the realization of it all.
Hey, if you like me, you're just glad to get out of bed in the morning.
Absolutely, Coach. I love your energy. I love your positivity. I love the way you motivate us. And, of course, you know, you're helping a lot of people get up this morning. But I hate that, and it's not a damper because if I didn't have to or if I didn't want to, I wouldn't ask you this question. But I was on Facebook the other day, and I saw some nonsense about, you know, one of your star players not having an opportunity to participate in something. And all I know is this kid is committed to Navy, and he has a 4.5 GPA. What the hell is going on up there?
Well, DJ, you know, it's kind of a touchy subject. You know, I hate to elaborate on it too much, but it was a kid that transferred to us from another school system. Okay. And a lot of times these schools, and my wife's a principal down at Long Cane Middle School, so a lot of times these feeder schools will allow kids to come back regardless of what high school that they're at and do like a walkthrough in their cap and gown and that kind of stuff. So this kid is graduating from Troup High School, but he attended another school district in middle school and elementary school. So he went back there to do a senior walk, and there was some miscommunication, and so he was not allowed to do a senior walk in that other district. You know, so but I hate to speak on it just because it's somebody else's district. That didn't happen in Troup County. It was a totally another district. Yeah. And but I can tell you this guy's a fine young man. I can tell you that. He's going to serve our country at the Naval Academy, and so we're really, really proud of him.
Well, you know what? I knew that you could actually straighten this out because, again, just the way it was out there, Coach, I knew that you could put us in the back in perspective, and thank you for doing that. Thank you so much. Hey, man, listen, you don't play till Saturday, I believe, and the bottom line
Hey, we're coming to Columbus, baby.
Absolutely. Yeah, man.
Let's go.
Have you seen that part?
I have not. You know, I think the last time, heck, I was down there, it might have been the Mudcats. And so it's been a while, but there's been a lot of people on our staff and our players and our fans that have seen it, and they just rant and rave about how wonderful a place it is. You know, last year we were in Rome, and we thought that was really nice. And I was told if you thought Rome was nice, you wait till you see this. And so we're extremely excited about being in Synovus Park.
Tanner, I cannot wait to see you there. Me and my crew actually get to broadcast that game in Synovus Park. So we were cheering you on last week with Peach County. Let's talk about that dominance. You were able to sweep them, man. Talk about what was going through your team's mindset and kind of handle business in that first game, 15-5. Second game, a little bit closer, but Coach, team's playing their best ball heading in the state championship series.
Well, I can tell you this. Georgia High School did us absolutely no favors with the bracket being the number one overall seed. Having to go through Cherokee Bluff, who we beat last year in the state championship game in round 2. Then we had to play an extremely good North Hall team in round 3. And then we got a Pickens team that was 34-4. The saving grace is that we were able to play at home. You know, that's a big deal. We have a great environment here. I throw a crazy statistic out to you guys, but we have not lost a home state playoff series in 6 years since I've been here. And so it's like 11 straight series that we've won at home in the playoffs. And we call it the jungle because at night it gets rowdy around here. Our fans love it. And but that Peach County team's a really, really great team. Next year that'll be a region game for us. So that's going to be unique. But those guys do a fantastic job. This is a second year in a row they've been to the Final Four. So they had a tremendous team. We were able to jump out on them in game one. We had 21 hits in game one, which is just like unheard of in the Final Four in high school baseball. And then in game two, it was a lot closer. Chase Mosley got on the mound for us, and we had a 3-run lead going into the seventh. He gave up a 2-run homer in the seventh, and then he just buckled down and struck out the next two and sent us on to the state championship.
Coach Davis Moncus, he has been the table setter. He set the school record for the most hits in his career. Talk about how important it is to have a guy that frequently gets on base, able to manufacture runs by stealing bases and being able to become that table setter.
Yeah, Davis is, like you said, he broke the school record for hits to 61. He also broke the doubles record in the season. He was just out at TCU this past weekend. He's got a full baseball offer to go to TCU. I don't know if he's going to take that or not. We're still waiting. I know he was on the phone with Vanderbilt yesterday at practice. But he's just an athlete. He is just a dynamic player in football and baseball. He's our game 3 starter. He's our closer out of center field. He'll come close the games out of the bullpen. He hits in the 3-hole for us. He's baseball savvy. I'm glad we got him for one more year after this year, baby, because he's a good one.
Tanner Glisson is our guest this morning on the Sports Visions Morning Show, and Coach Glisson is the baseball coach and getting ready for the playoffs, but he is also the football coach in his spring training. Speaking of spring training, Coach, I know that you eloquently described or explained to us once upon a time that how great and gifted a staff that you have in football, so you can kind of walk away. But, realistically, you could tell this is me, Thrift, and Richard here. Tell us, how many times you walked over to watch practice, football practice?
Just a couple times. I got to put my eyes on things. But in all honesty, this staff, football staff, next year we're going into our 12th year here at Troup High School, and almost every person on our staff has been here at least 10 years. And it's a place that people come, that they enjoy the environment. I don't pay them a whole lot, so I don't know why they stick around. But I guess it's just the fact of, number one, we've got a great culture. We don't.
Uh-oh. They got him. I mean, it happens.
He must have got a phone call.
He'll get back. Yeah, that's exactly what happened. But
there he is.
Back. If these college recruiters would leave me alone for a minute, we can get some talking done. And we got such a great culture. I know that we're about middle of the road as far as paying supplements. But I try to create such an atmosphere that's a family atmosphere, that these coaches can have a family life outside of football. We got great talent, so we're going to have a chance to win. And I think that's what keeps these coaches sticking around. And but these coaches do a fantastic job. They know how to run things without me even talking about it, just because they've been with me so long. J.C. Copeland and those guys do a fantastic job. We went up to scrimmage Noonan on Friday night. And we tied 14-14. We played the first half varsity, so it was tied at the end of the half, 14-14. We were minus 10 starters due to baseball. And then the young bucks were able to come in and play the second half. And we ran 2 8th grade running backs with the varsity in the first half. And guys, when I tell y'all these 8th grade running backs are going to be special, they are special. We've had a couple of Division I schools come through here and give them scholarship offers already as 8th graders, and so we're tickled to death about what's coming.
I'm excited about it, Coach. For you, back to baseball though, you've had about a week layoff. You don't play until Saturday, and then you don't play till Saturday night, just in case that the Class A Division I series has their if game. So. How is the week of preparation leading into it, and how excited are you the fact that you're only 45 minutes from LaGrange, man? I'm hoping there's going to be a pro Troup County crowd and some Novus Park, baby.
Well, the first thing is the layover does worry you, because baseball, you got to stay in a routine.
Right.
So we scrimmaged yesterday, and it went really, really well. We were scheduled to play on Friday, but because of our graduation Friday night, we're moving that thing to Saturday. We got a 10:30 Zoom with Georgia High School this morning, so I'll get more details. So y'all check back on my Facebook page, and I'll shoot out as many details as we possibly can. But to be down in Columbus, our folks travel as good as anybody in the state of Georgia. They are going to be there. They're going to pack that place out. It's going to be rowdy. And we're just super excited. Our guys tend to feed off of that. They're the biggest and the biggest of moments. And I think that's kind of the football aspect of baseball for us. You know, our guys have been in so many big football games that they relish those moments. The bigger, the tougher, the better it is, the more they seem to show up and play well. So we are tickled to death to be 40 minutes down the road. I mean, it makes us really, really happy.
Coach, you play Pickens, which is a rematch of the semifinal. And I know a little bit about Pickens. They're over in Jasper, Georgia, and their fans are going to be traveling all the way down to Columbus to try to pack that place out as well. You're very familiar with Pickens. They've had a great year. What team came back this year compared to the team that you faced in the semifinals from last season?
Yeah, you know, we played them last year in the semifinals, as you said, here at home.
Doggone it. We went, we lost him. He's moving around. But anyway, you know, he'll
try to get his
rejoin us.
internet
Absolutely
restored.
Yes,
there.
indeed. But again, you know, you can just tell from just the first few minutes, obviously, just a bundle of joy, a bundle of energy, very energetic guy.
There you are, Coach.
Hey, y'all still. Hey, just let your audience know anytime you have me on, they got to be on standby. Things go crazy up here in Troup County. But going back to Pickens just real quick, you know, we played them in the Final Four last year. They've got a tremendous squad, man. They brought everybody back. They got 2 transfers that transferred in that start for them that are really good. They got A.J. Rice, who's going to Auburn, the pitcher. A.J.'s 95, 96 with his fastball. So he's really, really outstanding pitcher. We had a thought that this might come down to Troup and Pickens. You know, we truly feel like these are the 2 best teams in the state, and it's a good thing that we're matching up in the state championship game.
Coach, let's let us know if you got to go, man. We understand. I mean,
baby, I'm here for y'all, baby. I got y'all blocked off. If everybody will stop calling my phone, we'll be all right.
I got you. Now, we've been talking about everybody else, you know, your players and, of course, your staff. But, hey, what about the man? We're a guy that's successful. You're the head guy. You're the face of this doggone, of this doggone program. You know, in a lot of cases, you're more, I guess, in just, I won't say more important, but just as important as the doggone mayor of the city. So where does Coach Glisson go when he needs some inspiration, when you need some pick-me-up?
Well, you know, the first thing is, DJ, that I appreciate all the compliments, but number one, you know, you got to know how to stay in your lane, right? You know, we got a principal here that does a tremendous job. Obviously, our superintendent, you know, so, you know, it's very easy to start kind of getting a big head and start trying to make decisions about other things that are not in my lane, right? And so the biggest deal is I try to be a servant leader. You know, I'm here to do whatever I can to help Troup High School and our school system. You know, that's the number one thing. And but you know, I don't hunt, I don't fish, I don't play golf. So you know, it's football, it's baseball, and it's family. You know, and so actually, I'm scheduled to take a beach trip next week. You know, that's the Georgia High School Dead Week, and I'm gonna turn my phone off. There won't be any interviews next week, gentlemen. So I'm gonna just chill, kind of reset myself because we got to get ready to go to football practice on June the 1st.
Coach, let's talk about that recruiting process. We got a lot of young people listening. We got a lot of parents listening. You talk to D1, D2, D3, NAI. It doesn't matter the level. College recruiters, what are they looking for in a young man? You pretty consistently, all of them, when they're trying to get them to come to their school.
Well, you know, the number one thing is, are you tough? Are you physically tough? Are you mentally tough? You know, you know, a lot of times I speak back to those 8th graders. You know, we had, I think we had close to 90 schools come through here this recruiting cycle. And, you know, a couple of those guys wanted to offer a couple of those 8th grader guys. And so they, you know, they spoke with me about it. But, you know, we've kind of been through some situations where we've had 8th graders get offers before and really kind of hindered their growth process. Right. You know, I mean, that's so far away, man. You know, and the big deal is what a lot of these parents don't understand is you have offers and then you have committable offers. That is 2 totally different worlds and that people don't understand. You know, one of them is good for clicks and likes on Facebook and Instagram, but, you know, they're not committable. You know, that just means, hey, we want to date you. You know, we want to get to know you, which is great. You know, it's flattering, you know, but the biggest deal is that's not even a committable offer. You know, not when you're 14 years old. You know, and even and a lot of these juniors and seniors get non-committable offers. You know, so you got to kind of pump the brakes a little bit when it comes to recruiting. You know, my biggest thing is this: number one, put your kid in a program where, you know, there's fruit coming out of that program, where that program has shown time and time again that they're going to prepare your kid for the next level. And then let that process just take place. Just relax, support the kid. Look, I will tell this to parents: allow your kid to fail. Allow your kid to fail. You got to trust the process. And I know that's a cliche, but you need to do your homework. You need to trust that the coaches at your school are going to do the right thing and they're going to coach them hard. But there's going to be a lot of failures. There's no growth without failures. And we're going to be there to pick them up, to brush them off. But I say all the time is this: here's what we do at Troup High School. Okay, this is a secret. We're not just trying to get you offers and scholarships. We're trying to have you prepared day one to step in and play at that university.
Amen.
There's a huge difference in that now. I mean, there's some kids that go to school and just don't make it because they're not prepared. You know, whether they've been pampered or whether they didn't put in the work or maybe they wasn't in a program that, you know, here at Troup, because we got so many dudes, you know, it's kind of iron sharpens iron. It's kind of like Carver Columbus down there. I mean, you get those jokers on the football field, man, and there's dudes everywhere, right? So you better not be half stepping, you know. and so that's the big deal, you know. And look, now I'm not saying that as a promo to Troup. There's other great programs out there too. Yeah. But as parents, you know, you just gotta do your homework. But then once you do your homework, you gotta let coaches coach. And you know, and I think we have the respect of our community here that our parents let us coach.
Before I let you go, man, the word on the street was that there was a negotiation between the spring game between Carver and, of course, Troup, but you guys couldn't come up with a financial settlement to make it even.
Well, the big deal, DJ, is when me doing baseball is very, very tricky up here because we're not at full strength in the spring. And we have done this spring game with Chip Walker up at Noonan for the last like 8 years. And we do it at his place every year because, number one, it takes pressure off of me having to get the stadium ready when I'm playing baseball. And true, DJ, us and Noonan we're not trying to out scheme each other in the spring. We're trying to let these young kids play. We're not worried about the scoreboard. So it's just a great partnership with us and Noonan. You know, maybe us and Carver will get together in a real game soon. Maybe that next cycle. And we would love to do that because they do a tremendous job. You know, we've been in the same region many, many times. And but that relationship in the spring just works really well for us and Noonan.
Coach Glisson, man, as always, you know we appreciate you, man. Good luck. And, hey, look, you have a great rest of your morning.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, do it to him, gentlemen. Let's go, baby.
All
See
right,
y'all
buddy.
in Columbus.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
Man, I like that guy.
I do too, man. And if you don't, there's something wrong with you.
And like I say, I always say this, you know, it basically breeds on your kids and everybody around you. You know, if you can't get fired up from this guy, then obviously your fire is out.
Exactly. So everyone, you've got nothing else going on. Saturday, Synovus Park, Troup County Tigers trying to win another state championship.
All right, let's take a short break and let you know that you're watching Facebook Live as well as YouTube, and you're listening to WLTC HD2 Sports Visions 921. We are your hometown sports guys.
You're listening to the Sports Visions Morning Show. Sports Visions 92.1.
Good morning and happy Election Day on this Tuesday. I'm Tiffany Maddox with a look at your morning's headlines. For Election Day, the Urban League of the River Valley is providing free rides to the polls from 8 a.m. until 5 p.m. Now, you can reserve a ride by calling 706-322-6840, but you must cast your ballot at your regular voting precinct today. And former Lee County Deputy Cam Hunt is challenging Sheriff Jay Jones in the Lee County Sheriff's race. Jones, who has been in office for nearly 28 years, is working to get votes from the county, while Hunt is trying to play to the angle aimed at long-term politicians. Meanwhile, new forensic findings suggest the victim of the 35-year-old Opelika cold case was likely a teenager, which changes the investigation because detectives believe the victim was a young adult based on the original 1990 autopsy. Crime Stoppers is offering a $5,000 reward for information on the case. For WRBL News 3, I'm Tiffany Maddox. Make it a great day.
Good Tuesday morning. We are off to a mild start with temperatures in the 60s and low 70s with a few clouds. By the afternoon, temperatures have already skyrocketed to the upper 80s and even some low 90s under a mix of sun and clouds. Tonight, mild and mostly clear. Lows drop to the upper 60s. More sun in the forecast for Wednesday, but add an isolated afternoon pop-up thunderstorm to that forecast. The extended outlook keeps the low 90s and a chance of rain through the holiday weekend.
To get the full story, visit sportsvisions921.com and click on the WRBL tab. Sportsvisions 92.1.
I want to tell everyone listening, don't be embarrassed about your past credit situation. Come see me at Bratton Automotive. We'll sit down, do a confidential interview, and I guarantee you I'll get you in the vehicle that you want. Don't go somewhere and put your money down on a vehicle that doesn't run properly or that's old and wore out. My vehicles are fully serviced, and guess what? I offer a warranty on every vehicle I sell, so buy with confidence. I stack them deep and sell them cheap, and everybody is going to leave with a smile.
Mike Gaiman for Valley Rescue Mission.
You know, the thing about drugs, they don't care if you're tall, if you're short, if you're thin or if you're not so thin, if you're rich or if you're poor, if you're old or if you're young, if you're black or if you're white. Drugs don't care. So these men and women are able to have a real transformation of their lives by going away from all the decisions of using drugs to now they're going to be drug free. That is one of the programs that is supported by all your donations to the Valley Rescue Mission.
Check out valleyrescuemission.org.
Sons Chevrolet is moving to our brand new home on Woodley Boulevard, and we're celebrating with a grand opening giveaway you don't want to miss. Register now for a chance to win a brand new 2026 Chevrolet Trax, plus oil changes for life. Register online before June 20th. Join us for the ribbon cutting on June 18th and the grand opening event leading up to the big drawing on June 20th at 5 p.m. Eastern. No purchase necessary. Visit sonschevy.com to enter and get all the details today. Sons Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Your home for the Dan Patrick Show, 9 to 12 on Sportsvisions 92.1. Now back to the Sportsvisions Morning Show. Here's former Green Bay Packer DJ Jones and Thrift Barringer.
Welcome back to the Sportsvisions Morning Show. Great Tuesday morning, everybody. DJ Jones, Thrift Barringer, and Richard Holdridge in the building. Big shout out to, of course, Tanner Glisson, man. I tell you, you know what?
Tan the man.
If you didn't hear this interview, and I'm just talking, man, just to be talking, this guy, I mean, he does it. He does it for me. I'm sure he does it for his kids in his program. You see, they winning everything that's out there. But, it's his spirit. I feel it, and it's real. There's nothing phony about this guy. And, again, that's the kind of coach that I could play for.
And when I met him in person, same way, DJ.
Yeah.
Saw him in person last year when we did those sitting with AD.
Yep.
And he's just energetic. Off camera is his own camera, and I love seeing that about him.
And Richard, I know that people are different, and I know that some people, are very confident and relaxed in situations than others. But again, and there's a time and place for that. But as a football coach, as a leader of men, you have to have something that can make a guy believe that he can run through that wall. You heard that term, running through a wall. Well, that it's a meaning to that. And you need, again, and this guy can do it. And there's other ways to do it as well, but I like how he does it because he stays positive and he keeps it 100 all the time. You can trust this guy.
Yeah, and most definitely his football players will run through a wall for him, and his baseball players will also run through a wall through him. And he's balancing both sports right around the time Troup County had that spring game with Noonan, and then he's getting ready for the championship, and then it's just nonstop. After the baseball season's over, he's getting ready for the summer workouts and got to get prepared for football season.
Now, Thrift, coming up in just a little bit, we're going to get two polar opposites in my mind. When we talk about Tim Fanning, who is the championship level coach over at Glenwood.
Yep.
Now, I don't think that to me. Now, of course, Tim a little bit better than me, but Tim is more low key. He's more, soft spoken, but he's got some dog in him. But that's what I was saying. You don't have to be, the outgoing, the rah kind of guy that Tanner is. But at the same time, something about these guys, and you'll have an understanding. And those of you who have had different coaches, different mentors, different leaders, you could see how success comes and looks like a lot of different things. But the bottom line with both of these guys, as you'll know, is that they're trustworthy. They're believable. They the people that they coach, the people that they teach, believe in what they're saying. And again, it's the gospel when it comes out of their mouth.
100%, man. And both these guys, you can have two different ways of being effective. I think, with Tanner, he's a football guy that's on the baseball field. He brings that energy there. And Coach Fanning is a baseball guy. You can tell by his kind of stoic manner when he's on third base. But you're right. There is definitely dog in him. Trust me on that. He'll run through any brick walls with this team. And they're going to try to do something special. Can't wait to have Coach Fanning on.
Richard, if you would you, of course, kind of catch everybody up, just in case they're just joining us for the first time on the show, and let them know exactly, again, what we have on the docket and where you and Thrift are headed in a few hours.
Yeah. As soon as this show is over, we've got to hop in a car and head up to Oxford, about 2 hours north of us off Interstate 20, to Choccolocco Park for game 1 of the AHSAA 3A championship game. Glenwood Gordo rematch of the state championship from last year. And then tomorrow we've got game 2 up at Jacksonville State, a game 3 if necessary. And so the first pitch is actually going to be 3 o'clock Eastern today. First pitch tomorrow, 4 o'clock Eastern, and it could possibly be a doubleheader. But let's hope that Glenn was able to close out and try to win their 26th championship, 4 straight state championship. And then we also have soccer. We got Brookstone Soccer. They're in the semifinals. They're taking on Mount DeSales. That's going to be on Thursday. We got Brookstone Baseball semifinals. Doubleheader on Friday, taking on Stratford Academy. We got Pacelli Soccer. The boys play today against Fulton Science, and if they win, they'll be playing in the semifinals and be hosting the semifinals either Friday or Saturday. So a lot going on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. Of course, we got Columbus United Soccer. Columbus Lions are on a bye this week, and then of course next week, man, oh man, the schedule gets even busier. And we try to put a bow on spring sports.
Absolutely. And again, I know that with that said, you guys are leaving here in a couple of hours, headed up the road, about 2 hours. But also next week, you guys have some work to do.
Yeah, GIAA's got their state championships in Macon on Tuesday and Wednesday at soccer at Stratford Academy. And then on Thursday, Friday, Saturday in Statesboro, DJ, Georgia Southern, home for the baseball state championship. So 5 consecutive days we'll be broadcasting for GIAA.TV. So should be a lot of fun. And after that, it's reset time. And guys get to kind of reflect and get ready for next year.
I hope, like hell, you guys got plans for eating something other than the ballpark food.
Yes. Stratford and Georgia Southern GIAA will have incredible hospitality food. I am not worried about that. It's going to be A1.
Richie,
I can't wait. I bring on that shrimp and grits. Man, that's their staple food. And it has been comfort food for me because I usually don't eat meals. Between breaks, I'll go and nibble on some stuff. And so I'm not really eating official lunch or dinner because, we're going to be calling games all day. So that's what I do. I got a plan.
Got the plan. Hey, man, let's do this. Let's go ahead and take a break. And when we come back, we're going to have the opportunity to hopefully talk to Coach Tim Fanning, who is actually got a game today, a little later this afternoon. We want to appreciate the fact that he's going to be joining us this morning because, you know what? Over in, what's the name of that doggone stadium?
Choccolocco
Park. Man, I tell you what. Hey, look, don't go anywhere. Take a quick coffee break, and we'll be right back.
Hey, it's Dan Patrick. Thanks for waking up with the Sports Visions Morning Show with DJ Jones and Thrift Barringer. Catch me at 9 a.m. every weekday morning, right here on Sports Visions 92.1.
Gotta get to Gills Auto Sales. We can finance, you got to get to Gills. Selection and price, got to get to Gills. Gotta get to Gills.
Happy 40th anniversary to Gills Auto Sales. This will be a year-long celebration with inventory and deals like you haven't seen in a long time. Every lot in Gills' lineup is stocked with a car, truck, or SUV that you've been dreaming about. Hey, want to save more than ever before on the vehicle of your dreams during the 40th anniversary celebration? You gotta get to Gills.
Did you know you can add renewing your driver's license or ID card to your grocery list? The Georgia Department of Driver Services now offers self-service kiosks at select Kroger and Publix locations. From renewing or replacing to updating your address, the kiosks will issue a temporary paper license, and you'll receive a permanent card in the mail. Skip the line and save time by adding your driver's license renewal to your grocery list today. You'll even get a $5 discount on your order. Visit dds.georgia.gov to learn more. Sponsored by the Georgia Department of Driver Services.
Listen, were you forced into getting a solar contract and now you just don't want it anymore? Maybe the solar company misled you. Or is your solar contract buried with hidden fees? Are you not saving the amount of money you thought you would on your energy costs? Don't worry. At the Solar Exit Hotline, we can help you cancel your solar contract, even if the panels are already installed. Our experienced legal team will review your contract and help you cancel it, possibly saving you thousands of dollars. You got to call right now for complete details. So listen, if you're not happy with your solar contract for any reason, we are here to help you cancel it. Call the Solar Exit Hotline now for immediate options to help you exit your solar contract. This call is 100% free.
800-908-7197. 800-908-7197. 800-908-7197. That's 800-908-7197.
Want to win a brand new Chevy Trax? Visit sonschevrolet.com to register and get details. New location coming soon. Sons Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
You're listening to the Sports Visions Morning Show, brought to you by Global Diagnostic Services and the Finley Firm. Now back to DJ and Thrift on Sports Visions 92.1.
It's Take Me Back Tuesday. Of course, it's DJ Jones, Thrift Barringer, and Richard Holdridge here on the Sports Visions Morning Show. The Glenwood Gators baseball team is playing at Gordo in the AHSAA Class 3A State Championship Series. And, of course, they'll be playing at Chakalaka Park in Oxford, Alabama, a little bit later this afternoon. And, of course, pleased to have with us this morning Coach Tim Fanning. How you doing, Coach? We got him turned up over there?
I think we got he took a phone call as soon as we were about to. Oh, there he is.
Coach,
hey, Coach.
Can you hear us, buddy?
Yes, sir. How you doing?
All right. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you for, of course, help waking up with us on the Sports Vision Morning Show, man. Big day today, and of course, this is not your first rodeo, Coach. How's everything going?
Not too bad, man. Just the storm before the calm, man. It's good. It's what people say, the calm before the storm. I say the storm before the calm. You got to go through all the stuff to be calm and play on the field. So that's what I think boys are ready to rock and roll, and we'll see if we show up with the right mindset, and if practice has been any indication, they'll be ready.
Coach, it looks like you're walking around in your little quiet space, and everybody has a place that they're at. Is that your therapy? Is that therapeutic for you?
Oh, for sure, and no doubt. This is a place where I don't take phone calls and emails and all that. So just it's definitely a happy place out here on the field. So.
Coach, I don't know how many times, DJ, I pulled up on him do a coach show. My man's on the lawnmower cutting grass.
Yeah,
and he is just in his peace space. But Coach, it's game week. You're playing Gordo. It's a rematch of last year. Talked a little bit yesterday. Is that a factor at all? Knowing they're going to be extra motivated, or you and your guys focus on what y'all can control to win this series?
Yeah, that's that's going to be the case. And be quite honest, that's a topic of discussion in our program all the time. When you play baseball at Glenwood, you're going to get everyone's best, so we're kind of used to that during the year and quite frankly, all the way through, the program's history. So we just need to keep the focus on us, let them do their thing. And we just need to play against the game, man. It's hard enough. And no reason to bring in a bunch of noise and trash and garbage and all that other stuff. So that's just what we're focused on, is executing our game plan.
Coach, this is your second year back in the AHSAA state playoffs, and the format that they have for all the classifications is you play game one at Oxford at Chakalaka Park, and then you turn around and play a game 2 and game 3 if necessary. And they do this for all the classifications. We had 2A yesterday. They're switching over to JSU. Do you like that format where you're playing game 1 at Oxford and then the next day you're playing at Jacksonville State?
Well, I don't necessarily know that I would have picked that format, but that being said, the venues are amazing. They do a great job of promoting it, You know what I mean? It feels really special when you go up there. It's just, I mean, it's first class. Everything they do for you, the way they set stuff up for you, the way they have it all lined up, police escorts, all this kind of stuff. So I mean, the kids do feel special doing it. I mean, I understand the logistics of 7 classifications trying to get all his games in and all that other stuff. So the only thing that's different really is the play 1 then play 2. You play the whole year playing 2 then 1 in the playoffs. But that's it's how you do it during the year for region play, area play. So I think it's just part of it, just getting used to it logistically. And like I said, man, it's first class when you go up there, and makes the kids feel really special about being in the state championship.
Tim Fanning is our guest this morning on the Sports Visions Morning Show, and Coach Fanning is the head ball coach of the Glenwood Gators baseball team. He's a Hall of Famer. And, Coach, I'm going to take it a different way. And, again, obviously I know that the game is this afternoon, and, of course, you got, your work cut out for you with getting your team prepared and on site. But I want to talk about the man because, again, at the end of the day, nearly 30 years over there at Glenwood, and you've been ultra successful. And, again, I know and I respect you, and we just had another coach on with a whole different style. But your faith has a lot to do with what you do and what motivates you and what wakes you up every morning to get the day started positive.
Well, it's funny that you brought that up because, a tradition that we have when you make the state championship, the last thing we do as seniors, talk about, what it means to be a Glenwood baseball player and anything they want to share with the team. Just, some of the things that came out of that last night just really, no matter how many years you're doing it, it just resonates with you and makes you know that God's got you in the right place. He put you here for a reason. And I think coaches miss out on an opportunity to not only mentor kids and teach them the game of baseball, man, but just show them that there's something bigger, man. There's a life beyond baseball. It's so much bigger than that, and God has a plan for them. And it was evident when those kids were speaking last night. And I couldn't be more proud to coach a group of kids and take them to a state championship. Win, lose, or draw, man, they're going to go down swinging. They're going to represent Glenwood the right way. And they know that God loves them. So I'm just super excited. And like you said, man, it's just a storm before the calm, man, just ready to get on the field and play baseball.
Coach, about this time last year, you had just been selected and placed in your rightful place in the Chattahoochee Valley Sports Hall of Fame. And, of course, I made mention of, the years that you've been of service to the Glenwood program. And, I was talking to somebody the other day, and we pretty much said that is he now considered a GOAT status? And we're just playing around. I know that doesn't mean a whole lot to you, but when just to think of that you have been one of the best to ever do it. I mean, that has to make chills come up on you if you ever think about it.
Well, yeah, I feel so undeserving. I mean, a lot of times in our walk with Christ, man, the hardest thing to accept is grace, and the fact that, he's blessed me with these opportunities and to coach these wonderful kids, man, and just be a part of, so many amazing things, I can't really take credit for it. It's a path that God's had me on. I will say I have been stubborn. I work really hard. I don't really care what people think about me, and I never have. I got that from my mother. So it does allow you to kind of have stick-to-itiveness, and a wherewithal in a profession that sometimes eats people up because they kind of prioritize things the wrong way or care what people think, or, I learned a long time ago, man, right is right and wrong is wrong. And you just keep doing those things, and, we got to live with the results, and God will take care of the rest.
Coach Fanning is trying to go for his 12th state championship, guys, which is incredible. 12. but also the softball programs in the state tournament. First time since being in the AHSA. Talking with Coach McConnell, I thought that's really awesome for his young girls, man, and they got a bright future. Talk about what that means for Glenwood and the softball program for them to play on Thursday in the state tournament.
Yeah, they're getting really old now. They have 5 sophomores that are starting, so it's crazy. But I am happy for those 2 seniors, especially have been through all this and through this building process, and this really young group of girls that are really good and talented and play multiple sports. They represent the school phenomenally, and I am happy for them and Coach McConnell. He works really hard, and for the girls to go and experience this venue, and I mean, because it's really nice. They play right behind where we play, like in Chalk Park, and they got a big stadium and stuff, and it's I am really happy for them. Our softball program has had a rich tradition, and it's just, they've been down for a couple years, just because they were young, not because they weren't talented, you know what I mean? And they just needed that experience and go through those battles, those trials and tribulations, and to see them come out on the other side is pretty special.
Coach, we've had the opportunity just to cover you guys the last 4 years. And one thing I've noticed is that the team has always been close and tight knit, and they even have superstitions. I remember one year the entire team, or majority of the team, bleached their hair. Do they still have superstitions, or there's
a bunch of little Q-tips running around here for sure. I mean, it's, and that's part of having a culture and creating those things so they do know that, it's bigger than them. And, just yesterday, the last practice for the seniors, the taking down of the flags and just certain things that they, we do every year. And obviously each team is different. So some of them have a little bit different quirks and things like that. But I mean, this year's dugout, man, they have just committed to just, being so hyped and focused, and they just come up with, I'm just telling you, maybe the older I get, the funnier it is to me, but as long as, they've come up with some stuff this year, just made me laugh. It made me laugh. Like, seriously, if you hear them, you actually listen to them, it's pretty funny. And it's not derogatory stuff. It's actually, you got to have a brain to figure out what they're talking about. And it's pretty funny, man. I don't know. I've just really enjoyed it, man. They've brought it all year. I say that, about after the first month, I think we figured out our identity, and the kids just really started buying in, man. And they've had a blast this last 6 weeks.
Coach Fanning, not too many weeks ago, we honored the top female athletes and coaches in East Alabama, West Central Georgia with our Sportsvisions Female Athlete of the Year Awards luncheon. I know you're really, really proud of your staff, and particularly our Sportsvisions Coach of the Year, Mandy Hutchinson, and of course her cheer team. Tell us what she means to you and the Glenwood family.
Well, just another proud moment for me. She's, one of my former students, and it's just, that's what this place is built on, and to see, young men and women come back to where they went to school and then invest in young people. I think it's one of the things that makes us really special here. I'm super proud of Mandy. She's done a phenomenal job, man. She has taken our cheer program to new heights that they've never seen before. And, this year they went to nationals down in Orlando for the first time ever, and just having the competition squad, I can't say enough good things about her, man. She runs it. She runs her cheer program like I run the baseball program, man. It's serious, and I'm super proud of her. She's going to do amazing things the rest of her life, that's for sure.
Well, Coach Fanning, thank you for joining us this morning on the Sports Visions Morning Show. We'll be rooting for you, man, a little bit later today, man. Hey, look, that'll be possibility of number 12. Number 12. Hey, do your thing, Coach. Good luck.
All right. Thank you, brothers. Appreciate y'all.
All right.
See you. Go get it.
Yes, sir.
All right.
We'll see him later this afternoon, man.
Coach Tanner Glisson, man, I tell you, you saw the two styles, man, different. This guy's laid back, and he's a little bit more poised with regards to, just really calm. And again, on the other side of that was what we saw earlier with Coach Glisson, both are successful, both are winners, and hey, man, that's what makes the world go around.
No doubt. Love Coach Fanning and the program and the culture he's built over at Glenwood, and pretty unique. The softball and baseball program, both trying to win a state championship in the same week.
All right, Richie, let's go ahead and take our final break of the day. You're watching Facebook Live as well as YouTube, and you're listening to WLTC HD2 Sports Visions 921. This is the Sports Visions Morning Show.
Hey, it's Ben Maller. Thanks for waking up with the Sports Visions Morning Show with DJ Jones and Thrift Barringer. Catch me at 2 a.m. every weekday morning right here on Sports Visions 92.1.
Carbon monoxide is a colorless, odorless gas that can be fatal. Don't use anything indoors that burns fuel, such as gasoline-powered generators, camp stoves and lanterns, or charcoal grills. Opening doors and windows or using fans isn't enough. Have your vents and chimneys checked to make sure water heater and gas furnace exhausts aren't blocked. If you feel sick, dizzy, or weak while using a generator, get to fresh air right away. From the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency.
Question: what will you find on all over-the-counter or OTC medicine packages to help you choose the right drug and use it safely? The answer: the drug facts label. This label lists the medicine's active ingredients and purpose, how much to take, and warnings you should know before using it. Remember, even OTC medicines you buy without a prescription can cause side effects you don't want. So follow the information listed on the drug facts label. For more information, visit fda.gov/drug facts label. A message from the U.S. Food and Drug Administration.
Some of the best sounds you'll ever hear are generic. Safe, effective, even money-saving, just like FDA-approved generic drugs. Even if they don't come in the exact same color or shape as their brand name equivalents, they have the same key ingredients and go through a rigorous review process. Talk to your doctor or pharmacist today and visit fda.gov/generic drugs. Generics are safe, effective, and can save you money. You'll like the sound of that.
This message is brought to you by the Armed Forces Vacation Club, a free membership travel hub for active duty military and veterans. The club provides a well-deserved escape during challenging times or post-deployments, or for cherished family moments. This exclusive travel club grants access to discounted 7-night resorts and savings on over 600,000 hotels, rental cars, and more. Discover the world for free at afvclub.com.
You're waking up with a Sports Visions morning show on Sports Visions 92.1. Now back to former Green Bay Packer DJ Jones and Thrift Barringer.
Welcome back to the final segment of the Sports Visions morning show. DJ Jones, Thrift Barringer, and Richard Holdridge in the building. Guys, it's been a great day, I tell you, man. Really, really inspirational the last couple of segments that we've had coming from Coach Tim Fanning as well as Tanner Glisson. These are coaches, and it's not just coaches. These are some of the best coaches that we have in our area.
Yeah, no doubt, man. And we'll be cheering for them as they're both trying to win another state championship. 12. Think about that, DJ.
12. That's heavy.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
And they're all since 2005. So he would have 12 and 22 seasons. That's incredible, man.
Even if he didn't get 12, Richard, I think he's still in the GOAT status. What do you think?
Yeah, no question about it. Chattahoochee Valley Sports Hall of Famer, going to go down as one of the most decorative coaches that we have ever had in this area. And Glenwood, as a program, trying to go for 26 state champions, which they're going to have to move some of those banners on that outfield wall at Tim Fanning Field because they got that 25 that's right there on the line, on the right field line, so they're going to have to spread it out. But, going for 26 in the rematch of the state championship last year.
And here, Thrift, this is what this hits home for me. Again, we talk about Tim Fanning Field. We talk about a Chattahoochee Valley Sports Hall of Famer. We talk about the possibility of winning his 12th state championship. But what about the humble beginnings from which he came from? Again, here's a guy that, grew up, with not a lot. And a matter of fact, I think that they said he told me he grew up in a trailer park over off of Victory Drive. Who would have thought that? And again, that shows you the motivation and the drive and the people in his life that kept him on the straight and narrow. His mother, whom he loves and talks about often. It's just unbelievable. That's a story within itself. And again, his health issues. I mean, this man has overcome cancer. So here's a guy that comes from humble beginnings and then, of course, has overcame cancer, and he's still, looking at an opportunity to win his 12th championship. Man, that's documentary kind of stuff.
It is, man. And he wrote a book called Serve to Lead 2. In that book, it talks about not only having to overcome all the trials and tribulations growing up, but then having to overcome cancer and defeat that, and being on very low during that cancer battle. And it was taking a real toll on him to overcome that and then win now 3 straight state championships since having overcome that. That's a heck of a life, DJ. It's really unbelievable. Man.
It is. It really is. Guys, we had Jack Patterson on earlier. You guys will be seeing him up in, what's the name of that town you guys are headed up to?
Oxford, Chakalaka Park.
Chakalaka Park. Richard, you guys will exchange pleasantries as you and Jack and all the rest of, the guys from the Chattahoochee Valley sports media area will be there. And, of course, Dana Barker, everybody's favorite. This is a guy that, again, in every sense of the word, and I know we throw Swiss Army knife around here really loosely, but no, seriously, this guy, is a Swiss Army knife because he is a professional in everything that he does, and he's such a great guest because he's so informative. He's given us opportunities or information about how to become a football referee if, in fact, you want to stay around the game and have fun and again, of course, have a camaraderie with like minds. Hey, he's got all the information because he's one of the better high school officials in the area.
Yeah, he is, man, and appreciate what he does. He's also a heck of a weather guy too. So we appreciate DB anytime he can come on. He can talk to all things sports.
Well, I'm not going to just let you throw that heck of a weather guy in there because he's a father, he's a husband, he's an IT guy at Auburn. This guy. Look, and he's an announcer with the hockey team, with the River Dragons. Richard, you can understand that. You're our Swiss Army knife, but obviously there's levels to this stuff.
Yeah, doesn't he also fill in for the Making Mayhem as well? He does a WALB down in Albany, fills in sometimes.
It wouldn't surprise me.
So, yeah, he's able to, whenever you need him, he's available. And he's also the OG when it comes to storm chasing, too.
Yeah.
I learned that from him.
Yeah.
I also think, if I'm not mistaken, never mind, he hasn't done a clean stones. I was trying to say maybe he's one of few people that have had an opportunity either PA or call a game for every sports entity that we have. I know I've done one United game. Obviously, I've done a Clean Stones game, the Lions, and I PA'd. It's funny for Dana Barker back in 2021. I think I've hit every single professional team, but DB is close too. He just that when you're getting in this profession, and DJ, you say this all the time, don't be limited in what you can do, man, or you won't be used that much.
Absolutely. And again, I like to say I came in from the inside out, using the camera, and of course being better behind the camera than you are in front of the camera, because again, and when you do learn it, whether you came in front of the camera first or you end up behind it, the bottom line is the more you know, the better you are. And the more you know, even in radio, you just, when you know a multitude of things, it's not anything that's going to surprise you. Again, whether it's a caller that's going to call you and swear at you, or whether it's a breakdown in the technology that we have, you remain calm, you remain focused, and you understand. Hey, look, this too shall pass.
No doubt about it.
Yeah, absolutely. Rich, you want to take us out of here with the schedule one more time?
Yeah, absolutely. Today, Chakalaka Park, game 1. We got Glenwood taking on Gordo, rematch of the state championship. Game 2 and game 3 will be tomorrow at Jacksonville State. We've got Brookstone Soccer on Thursday. We are going to be at Synovus Park helping with the NFHS Network on Friday and Saturday. We got Pacelli Soccer later today, possibly Friday or Saturday as well. And we got Brookstone Baseball doubleheader on Friday.
And Thrift, as far as the overall schedule moving again into the summer months, can you give us some highlights of what's to come on Georgia Alabama Sports Live?
Definitely got summer basketball. I've already gotten coaches sending me play dates and all this stuff. And it's literally the week after Memorial. So it's like we don't even really get a week off when they're already having play dates all month of June. We got a 7-on-7 tournament that usually Muskogee County hosts at Otis Spencer with that. Well, last year, DJ, it got way too hot on the field, and they ended up having to call it. So they're moving to Smith Station in their brand new multi-million-dollar facility that is covered, has fans in there. So we'll have that. Maybe some baseball games if we can. We got United, Lions, but the big thing is State of the Union with all the ADs and kind of talk about last year and what they're excited about this upcoming year.
And last but not least, in about 5.5 weeks, we'll have an opportunity to, of course, get you ready for the Isaiah Crowell Youth Football Camp out at Shirley B. Winston Park. And he's added a new element. It's going to be the combine experience.
Okay.
So he's going to give these young people an opportunity to run the 40, to do the combine drills, maybe do their vertical jump, so that at least, these kids walk around and say, hey, what you run the 40 in? Oh, I run a 5.2, whatever it is, much better than saying, I don't know. I've never been timed in the 40.
Right.
Never had my vertical leap.
Now you have.
Now you're going to get Isaiah, and that's coming up on the 27th. Registration will start on June the 1st. And, of course, you'll hear it first on the Sports Visions Morning Show.
Cannot wait.
All right. Well, you heard the music, and you hear it now. That's going to do it for this edition of the Sports Visions Morning Show. On behalf of Thrift, Barringer, Richard Holdridge, I'm DJ Jones, reminding you to keep your eye on the ball.
You've been listening to the Sports Visions Morning Show with DJ Jones and Thrift Barringer. Brought to you by Global Diagnostic Services and the Finley Firm. This is Sports Visions 92.1.
I tried to teach you, but I need some lessons. I need to give it all. I try to live, but I can't. I don't know I got the one. Turn me out of my mind.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team.